Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Nearly Midnight Movie Chat. Today is the 12th of June, 2021, and I've got some great news. Kevin Smith just straight BTFO'd more of the haters, and it's all because of me. Let's talk about that right now. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show. It's Saturday night. It is 11:10 p.m. and today's been a very, very interesting day when it comes to, I don't know, kind of asking good questions of people in positions of power. Again, most of the time when it comes to getting anything done, it really does boil down to just asking the right questions. So last night on the show, it took a little bit of time to get there, but we did talk about the question of the day, which was Kevin Smith lying when he was talking about the Masters of the Universe Revelation and whether or not it was going to be a He-Man centric show? And a lot of people out there, especially people like Clownfish TV and I believe Yellow Flash and Ryan Kennel from Marquee Outpost, and a lot of those people that just profit off of, anger and rage and tiny penis syndrome, those kind of people were really trying to pigeonhole Kevin Smith into being this liar, all based upon this particular synopsis from Masters of the Universe Revelation. Now, just so you guys know, I took this snapshot from the Netflix Media Center. I have an account with them. I have access to a lot of behind the scenes information that they put out through their press releases. And this is what they put up as the official synopsis for part 1 of Masters of the Universe Revelation, which is going to be 2 parts as we discussed last night. So it says here, the war for Eternia culminates in the Masters of the Universe Revelation, an innovative and action-packed animated series that picks up where the iconic characters left off decades ago. After a cataclysmic battle between He-Man and Skeletor, Eternia is fractured, and the Guardians of Grayskull are scattered. After decades of secrets tore them apart, it's up to Teela to reunite the broken band of heroes and solve the mystery of the missing Sword of Power in a race against time to restore Eternia and prevent the end of the universe. So what you got to remember about that, what you have to remember about that is only for the first 5 episodes that is debuting on July 23rd at 12 a.m. So we have a little bit of time until, those episodes come out. But in the meantime, that is what that particular block of programming is going to be about. So I decided to follow that up today by asking Kevin Smith about it directly on Twitter. And I asked him, I said, do you have a response to the Teela controversy? I'm wondering if Netflix has a synopsis, or if Netflix's synopsis is of the first 5 episodes and not the season as a whole. So he says, and this is where we get the BTFO, the whole situation, kind of case closed. He says, we can't release a synopsis for part 2 without spoiling part 1. So any synopsis out there now would only be for part 1, but our sprawling storyline is so full of twists and turns. I've yet to read an online theory about Revelation that's come even or ever close to guessing the actual plot. And this was, in my opinion, in my humble journalistic YouTuber opinion, the right question to ask. Because this is looking at it from a logistical and rational perspective. When information comes out from a company like Netflix, as put out there on their official media website, that you have to get, you have to go through a process to get vetted for, to get into, and I'm in, by the way, this is what they're putting out there. It's only for part 1. So trying to take it and run with the story that the whole show is on all the Teela show, that Prince Adam and He-Man won't be a part of it at all, is clearly nonsense. And it is clearly something that people are just grifting for the sake of grifting. And that is what I was able to put together. Kevin Smith has, just sat back, lit up a blunt, and just basically went, yeah, no, man, they ain't even right. I found this image like literally before going live. I put way too much more effort into it than I probably should have, but still, I think it's pretty funny. And there we find ourselves with now the truth about He-Man and the truth about what's going on with all that stuff. So that is, in my mind, pretty damn interesting. So real quick, before we dive into anything else, I just want to give a shout out to the channel members. We added a new one, Javi12 yesterday. Thank you very much for that. If you want to get your name up on this list, if you like listening to the show nightly, be sure to become a channel member and you'll get your name up there. And that's going to be, I'm going to be getting emotes here pretty soon as well. We'll be figuring those out. And also, just for shits and grins, if you haven't already checked out our joking channel sponsor, Gina Carano did Everything Wrong t-shirt, which I might actually sell because people seem to really like that. And this brand new one that I put together that's not done yet, but I literally thought of it during the 5-minute intro for the show. And that is the Gina Shot First shirt that you can buy that doesn't exist. But I quickly made that in like 2 seconds, and I thought that it was pretty funny. And it kind of flows, actually. It kind of flows together pretty well. I just couldn't get the text the way I wanted it to before going live. And then finally, here's another a little Star Wars joke for you guys today. This is one that I made also. Please do not bang the machines. And Lando Calrissian is basically like, nah, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna if I'm gonna have sex with this trash compactor, I'm gonna fuck it in the ass. And that, my friends, is my gags and my setups for the beginning of the, we're less than 10 minutes in, and I've already gone through the only story I wanted to cover today. Again, this is opening it up. This is opening it up for call-ins. If you guys want to call on in, we've got some people that are in the back room right now, which is great. If you want to get in on the action, we're going to go for about an hour today, and then we'll go from there. So Shiny here does start off by asking with the $5 super chat. Thank you, by the way. Says, did you hear about the Dakota Sky's death in LA? Yes, I did hear about that. I heard that she died. She was found by her husband in their motorhome. I haven't read anything else about it yet, but that is, I'm not the most familiar with Dakota Sky. I do understand, like, I do get her. I am familiar with her work. I'm not just, how do I say it? Like, how do you talk about someone who's literally in an industry that you beat off to, right? And like, oh yeah, no, I know her. Cause it kind of implies if you're familiar, you're like, I'm pretty familiar. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really familiar, but no, I am familiar with her. I just don't know her. I'm not totally familiar with her body of work. Anyway, that is tragic. I do feel really bad. So, okay. Let's see. Chuck here says Gina would shoot first. She's a badass. Yeah, she would. I thought that was pretty funny though. Please don't bang the hologram. That's asking a lot. No, I just made that shirt, Eddie. I just made that shirt literally as a joke in like 2 minutes. But Alva here asks a good question. What do you think about people on Twitter criticizing Scott Coffin for being Republican? You know what, man? Like, listen, I'm not a Republican. I have spoken out quite a bit against the Republican Party for a number of reasons, a very large and ever expanding litany of reasons. But people are free to donate to who they want, and that is part of what we have here in this experiment known as the United States. They have the ability to donate up to a certain amount of money, and that is him exercising his right to do so. His defense, I read a bit of his defense tonight, and he said something along the lines of like he's donated to conservatives and to Democrats and so on and so forth, and I really don't care, to be honest with you. Like, I just don't. He's a guy. He can do what he wants. I'm definitely against like corporations having the ability to funnel money in like almost unlimited amounts of money into super PACs. That oftentimes get used like as a piggy bank for a lot of these people. So I'm not a fan of that. And I think you should take the money out of politics, but small dollar donations from private citizens is entirely fine by me. And you know what? I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't really have a connection to it. So I don't really look at it as being a thing that I can care much about. But anyway, I appreciate the question. Okay. Salty Snacks here says, I followed Dakota on Twitter out of curiosity. She had an obvious drug problem. She was fighting that sad. Yeah. That tends to happen in the industry. Let's be fair. Some women show up, they become the it thing or one of the it things for like a couple years, but they put their body through a lot. Look, I'm not making a joke about that either. They literally put their bodies through a lot. And I don't know their shooting schedule. or anything like that, but it can wear on them after a while. There's certain actors in the industry that will take like a 5-6 year sabbatical, and you won't even know that they're gone because they've shot so many scenes before they took off. Like Lexi Bell, for example. I happen to be a fan of Lexi Bell, and she disappeared for like 6 years and just recently came back like last year, I think, or 2019. At least one particular, I just saw her name in circulation again on Reddit, and that's how I knew about it. But like other than that, it's just, yeah, it's like they shoot so many scenes that they put their bodies through this immense amount of, I don't want to say punishment, but it is physical exertion, and you know what, that industry is literally about as much as you can consume. You know, the people will consume however much you can put out there. So when it comes to porn, there's that. So yeah, I mean, burnout is a thing and drug use is a thing, and I feel really bad. Kind of like August Ames a few years ago. So anyway, you just like here says, Dakota was a cutie. Looked her up for research purposes. Of course, yeah, sure. Research purposes. Shiny here says, Lexi got thick. Did she? I haven't seen it in a while. Simon here, $5, and we'll get to calls here in a second. Thank you. Says, what was up with Mando is dead yesterday? That whole thing is interesting, because it was a girl who came in, and I don't know if it was a real female or not. Who knows anymore? Came in, started saying like Kathleen Kennedy killed Mandalorian and Mando is dead, and not providing any other information, just fandom menace talking points that are easily debunked by anyone with half a brain. And I said, I'm opening up the call lines tonight. If she wants to call in and explain to me her positioning, I am more than willing to give her the floor to hear it, because I think that would be fascinating to get that kind of debate going on. And so yeah, that's what happened with that yesterday. We'll have to wait and see if more goes down. But all right, let's get into the callers. First up is my friend TW. What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm honored to be called your friend, sir.
Well, you know,
But
us Canadians got to stick together. So I
oh
mean,
yeah, oh yes. You're
so
close.
I'm a
Close enough
first
to the point.
generation
Yeah.
Canadian American, mind you. But
Oh, I did not know that one of your parents was Canadian. I did not
my
know
mom
that.
was born. Man, my mom was born in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna run through a series of thoughts here, just real
sure.
quick. You know.
It's kind of an open topic, kind of an
Yeah.
open. Well, I
Oh
mean,
no, just gonna
entertainment. You know,
absolutely. It's just kind of
genre.
me. It's kind of me commenting on stuff you've discussed over the course of
Sure.
the evening.
It's
If
well, it's been a weird week.
So like it was nice that you got to talk to yourself on Twitter. I thought that was funny, you know. And with respect to that little Netflix blurb you shared, you said you were part of some sort of program that Netflix runs.
Yeah. So what it is Netflix has a media center, and
Oh,
that is
cool.
where I get access to. Not that I get access to like early screeners or anything,
But it's
but it's
just
like
kind of your synopses and so forth to
I get
distribute
yeah,
to.
I
So
get
it's like access media.
synopsises. Yeah, it's like an access media thing, and you have to go through a vetting process to get in.
Yeah.
And you can email them and like request, you know, you get emails to their PR people. If I want to, and I am going to request to review, Masters of the Universe before it comes out.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's cool.
because I mean, like, fuck it. Like, if I got access, I'm going to try to use it to like, because I mean, honest to God, when it comes, I mean, I'm looking at what Netflix has just got right now, and it's like they've got so much stuff. There's this like Filipino animated series called Therese, that apparently
The
is
one
really
that
good.
dropped. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that was. I've heard good things about it so far.
Yeah, and then they got another one called Wish Dragon that just came out. And it's an animated movie. Like there's a Kevin Hart movie called Fatherhood. Like there's a ton of stuff coming out this week, and they
Oh,
continuously put out all this new content. So it's like, you know what? I mean, it's something to talk about and
yeah.
then get more info on. And I think that's what I want.
Yeah. And speaking of Kevin Hart, I had like a bit of an eye roll moment earlier today because for those who don't know, E3 2021 is going on over the next couple of days. And Gearbox Software, who are the creators of the Borderlands franchise, they're putting out basically most of their press conference, quote unquote, like their digital video today, was effectively promotion for the Borderlands movie, which
Oh,
was very
really? I
strange.
didn't watch any of
It
it.
was don't worry, you did not miss anything. I mean, literally, it was they talked about a game they already announced. They announced that they're making a new game in the Homeworld franchise. They talked about the remaster that had already come out, and then A bunch of it was interviews with like Eli Roth and people on set. And,
Okay, and they didn't
no
talk about
footage, no
no
footage.
footage, no
It was behind the
nothing.
scenes. Like
Yeah.
Pitchford talked to Kevin Hart for about 2 seconds. Remember the Shazam Fury of the Gods thing that they put out where Zach Levi's all in the dark? Like that kind
No.
of, why is it dark in here? Like it's Zach Levi as Shazam to kind of promote the movie. Anyways, long and short, Kevin Hart, they put out a photo of him and it's literally just him in the dark. It has his character in the dark. You can't even see his costume. I'm like, why put anything out at all?
And all he's doing is voicing Claptrap, isn't he?
No, he's playing Roland.
Oh, okay. For some reason I thought he was Claptrap.
No, I'm not
That
sure
would
who
make
he's
more
playing.
sense.
I'm not sure he's playing Claptrap. If they were going to get someone to play Claptrap, I said Aziz Ansari. I think they'd probably do a good job at it.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he needs work right now, I guess.
And then the Ubisoft thing happened today, and we
I did watch
got
that,
the,
and I was
Avatar thing. And if you guys want to learn a little bit more about how important and relevant Avatar is in today's society, please check out the new $3 theater video. It's actually really good. I actually, to be honest, like I mentioned in the comments, I haven't seen Avatar.
Yeah.
Seeing some of the things you're talking about, like I didn't know that Giovanni Ribisi line was in there. We put them in schools, taught them English. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, right. And then that's why I mentioned the
yeah.
Canadian residential school situation, because
I didn't realize that he was going that,
oh no, I was watching the Ubisoft thing today, which Ubisoft is my favorite third-party publisher, but I didn't really care for like anything that they talked about today. Nothing really got me excited except for Avatar. Right, when they showed off like, oh, it's from the Snowdrop engine. I'm like, ooh, cool, I love the Snowdrop engine. And it's like you see the first person view, and then I'm like, okay, this could be Star Wars because they're apparently working on a new Star Wars movie.
I knew that. I know, because I was like, man, I'm like, but as soon as they were showing off engine footage, I'm like, okay, this almost can't be Star Wars, because
that's too far. That's too far in advance for that.
I figured it'd be like what they did with Battlefront, like when DICE first announced it, where you just see like the screenshots and so forth, and them examining the models and whatnot. But yeah, it looked pretty. I don't know enough about the world to do anything. And then also they didn't show gameplay. So
yeah, they showed like a captured in-engine footage basically, and that makes a lot of sense. But the thing, I mean, so right after that was over, I tried watching whatever their follow-up to it was, and it was this this whole like piece about like why they brought in for Thunderbird for Resident Evil, or not Resident, for Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we went to the Nakota people. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then it just kept droning on. They kept hammering the point home of like, yes, we wanted to go find some, consultants who live
like
in
proper indigenous representation.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, cool. You can just say that, but they like, it was like literally like the one woman was like, I might even go buy a video game console to try this out. And I'm like, oh, okay, you're just stop it, Ubisoft. You're literally losing your audience on this one, because I tuned out on that one, and then I'm like, I started thinking about Avatar again. I'm like, man, like I have not sat down and watched Avatar since I bought it on Blu-ray in like June of 2010 is when I think
4K
the last
out of Avatar.
There's not. I looked, and Avatar on Disney Plus is not in 4K.
Oh,
so I did Google that, and it said that it potentially going to be coming in 4K next year. Yeah. But here's the thing: True Lies still isn't in 4K, and there hasn't been an official domestic release of True Lies on Blu-ray.
That really? Like, I mean,
yes.
That's very strange.
It's so weird, and I love True Lies. It's my favorite Cameron film. Yes, above Terminator 2.
My favorite is my favorite is probably still T2. But yeah, and like when I think of Cameron, I thought like Aliens. It reminded me of Aliens, and my thought was I actually haven't seen Aliens, but everything I've heard is very action focused relative to Alien. And I remember thinking, especially because everything that happened afterwards, I remember thinking, at least narratively speaking, not monetarily speaking, but narratively speaking, making Aliens was probably one of the worst decisions Fox ever made. Like they should have kept the sci-fi horror, like the more kind of the horror suspense kind of side. Or because the problem is when you have such two almost polar opposite tones in that sense, it's kind of difficult to balance them, I think.
Well, the thing is though, is because what you have, and this is kind of weird when you think about the Alien franchise, and I agree with you about turning it into like the science fiction action side of it, because you have it like almost Alien fans are of two minds, right? They what it really boils down to is everyone's like, look, we love Aliens, or Alien, because Alien is it's just a fantastic movie.
And,
But then you watch Aliens and you're
yeah.
like, yeah, that's kind of more of what I want, where it is the Space Marine versus the Xenomorph, and
Okay.
dealing with like that kind, because it's like, that, and that's kind of where Alien 3 tried going back to like the Alien approach, one
Yeah.
alien, a prison colony, and Fincher, I mean, he has his famously has issues with Fox over that whole movie. But then you go to Alien Resurrection and it's like, what the okay, Joss Whedon, what are you thinking? We don't quite know here. But it's still not a horrible movie. I actually kind of like Alien
Yeah.
Resurrection. And
Okay.
but then you get the Prometheus, which is just like totally different. And I mean, I still think out of all the films, Prometheus has like the best cinematography. Like, my God, that's amazing.
From the shots I've seen, it does look gorgeous. Like it
Oh
looks
yeah,
really
you haven't
good.
seen Prometheus?
No, I'm way
Oh,
behind on my
oh
Alien
man,
franchise
like
thing. It's kind
yeah,
of like
yeah, like I'm not going to argue and try to say like Prometheus is a good movie, because it's really
it's
it's
kind of it's
it's
subjective
it's
with what
okay.
you
Yeah,
define as a good
yeah.
movie.
It's like, it's fun to watch. It's not terrible, but there are things and you're like, really, what are you thinking? And then when he followed that up with Covenant, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, Covenant is just, it's, I mean, like, I saw it one time in theaters. I have not even bought it like cheap on Blu-ray or nothing.
I remember getting so hyped when like they announced Blomkamp was making an Alien movie. I'm
well,
like, because I like District 9, I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I'm on board. Like this
Well,
already
here's,
seemed interesting. The concept art looked good. And,
well, and the thing is though, and this is where they fucked up. So that movie was kind of doomed from the get-go. All right. Because what you have to go back to is, so go back to 2015, because this is when it first started coming out. It was during the press tour for the movie Chappie. Right.
uh-huh.
Because, Sigourney Weaver and Neil Blomkamp together. And that is when the news came out about Alien 5, about how Blomkamp had an idea and had
Yeah.
talked to Sigourney Weaver and Michael Biehn and had his team drop some concept art of what it could be,
Hmm.
and that this is something that they were like, trying to get going. But that overtook all of the conversations surrounding the release of Chappie, which was a
Okay.
Sony release. And so no one was talking about Chappie, which is fine because the movie was not good. The movie, like from a technical level, Chappie is well made, but it's
Yeah.
like from a character perspective, there's no like no character is good. Like in District 9, Charlotte Copley's character, like, yeah, he's a racist bigot in the beginning of the movie, and then he kind of learns the
But
error
like
of his ways.
that's kind of the point of the film, right? So
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, considering like, the how
especially where it's
well,
filmed, who Charlotte
have you
Copley and
seen
Blomkamp are.
well, did you ever see Alive in Joburg?
No, but I heard you talk about it when you I think you were mentioned. I think I'm trying to
I
think,
might
did
have
you do a
mentioned.
patio on? Did you do a patio in District 9?
No, I want to. I got
Yeah,
really distracted with doing potty. I got to get back into it.
yeah,
But but the thing with Alive in Joburg is, if you go back and you watch it, when they're interviewing people about the aliens, and
yeah.
you listen to the people they interview, there's like a lot of hatred and vitriol behind their voices, right? You think, wow, these are some pretty good actors. Those aren't actors. Those are real people.
So what
And
you
they're
do?
being,
The way did you just get white South Africans to talk about?
no, it's yeah, well, it's white South Africans to talk about Nigerian refugees. Nigeria. So it was
Wow.
all. So yeah, that was like the racism towards Nigerian refugees, which is one of the reasons why I think the Nigerians were like the bad guys living inside of District 9. Because the thing is,
Oh
and
yeah.
even because of the way Nigerians were portrayed in that movie, which probably wouldn't fly today by any real metric, to be honest with you. But when that happened, the country of Nigeria banned the movie.
Huh.
So District 9 is banned in Nigeria because of how its people were represented in District 9. And going back to Alive in Joburg, the racism and vitriol that you hear in that documentary is real, and it's aimed at Nigerian refugees. So, I mean, like, there might be some questions for Neil Blomkamp down the road, like, what you thinking here, buddy? But at the same time, it's like District 9 was just such a refreshing science fiction movie. And I think that, what was it? Elysium was okay. I didn't really care much for Chappie, and I've watched Chappie a couple times, and there's good moments in it. And I like Charlotte
Yeah.
Copley in it, and, and elements of it I like, but like D. Antwoord was terrible in the movie. They were just completely god awful characters. Dev Patel, which
They
you would
were.
think
Hang on. Yeah, I guess they were in Chappie.
in Chappie, yeah.
Deont were like the band.
The band, yeah, those were like the two main characters, like the two people that like take in Chappie, and they
Huh.
like teach him to be a gangster and shit. And he looks at them like their mom and their dad, and
Oh,
they're just terrible. And, and Sigourney Weaver and Hugh Jackman. I mean, like you have like big name talent, and it just like I mean Hugh Jackman in a mullet for crying out loud.
yeah.
And it just the movie kind of failed on a lot of ways to connect on what it was good at. But then Blomkamp bailed out of that, and because after Chappie kind of crashed out, you know what he did after that? He said fuck it, and he went to start making short films.
Yeah.
Then he opened Oat Studios, and he's been making short films in like Unity. So he's been doing
Oh, okay.
like stuff with you. And the thing is, it's good. Like he's been really honing his talent, I think, because he was always a short film maker. He's always a
Yeah.
short film director, a
And I can imagine if
documentarian.
he ever goes. I can imagine if he ever goes back to features, because I know that Lucas have been nice enough to open up the volume to all filmmakers. It's like I'd imagine he'd probably want to do something using Unity in the volume if he ever wanted to go that route.
Yeah, most likely, most likely. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of the way I view it on that one. That'd be really cool for him. And then he's got this new one called Demonic, which I haven't seen the trailer for yet, but I know the trailer is out because I got an email today from like GoFabo about it. They're like, watch the new Demonic trailer, and I'm like, I have a 3-year-old around, can't really do that. And then everything
Yeah.
else happens. So there's a lot there that but to quickly touch upon the Ridley Scott thing and then I'll bring in the next guy.
Yeah.
If you want to hang out, that'd be great, but because
Oh
we
yeah,
can
yeah, we'll
we
do.
can have a convo. And then ultimately, yeah. So they had talked about it. Fox was interested, but then I believe Ridley came in and just kind of like cock slapped it, and was like, no, it's not going to happen.
Well, especially when you have like the guy who ushered in the franchise coming back to do a movie. I can see why they did it. And again, we've never seen the film. We haven't seen it. I don't even think there was a script ever leaked or anything. So there was no knowledge beyond the concept art and the cast, right? So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's I get it, but I think like it's one of those things where, Ridley still had control. Where I think as in regards to Blade Runner, he didn't have control, because
that's
Warner's,
very valid.
he might have produced it, but then again, a lot of that's in name only. Like Zack Snyder on Wonder Woman 84. At any point in
Okay.
time, does it feel like it's a Zack Snyder production? Does
I've ne-
anything in there feel Zack
I've
Snyder?
not seen
No.
Wonder Woman 84, but even the stuff that I've seen, I'm like, it doesn't feel very Snyder-esque,
Yeah, it's not. It's really not. The whole thing is simply just kind of it's
Yeah.
it's just all that. But all
And
right,
then
let me
my last two thoughts, and then
yeah,
you
yeah,
can kick me out. Is happy 40th to Raiders. I got to watch that right before the clock rolled over, so that was fun.
yeah.
And
Nice.
with respect to Scott Cawthon, if you don't like whose pockets he's lining, don't line his.
Pretty much. I mean, like that's kind of about it the way I
If you're
see it.
going
I
down
don't
that route.
yeah, the thing so I'm still waiting for my copy of the rate of Raiders, my 4K set, because it's still delayed until the 20th.
As I had heard that they this will be my last thing. I'd heard that they just announced that it was supposed to come out in like July or something local to me.
Oh man, they I mean I pre-ordered it a couple months ago,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
like so yeah. But all right,
Right on.
man. Well, hey,
Yeah.
I'll let you go because yeah, we got Ash almost got a
Yeah.
full back room here
Not
full
a
of people.
problem.
So all right, dude, thank you very much for coming in, TW. We'll talk again soon, man.
Take it easy.
Thank you. All right, let me take a quick. We got Simon here at the $5 super chat saying, "Have you heard or seen the John Travolta Kevin Hart comedy Die Hart on the Roku channel?" Am I hallucinating? No. So that was actually Quibi. Originally, Die Hart was Quibi Productions, and then when Quibi shut down, Roku bought the rights to everything on the super ass cheap. And so yeah, you can check out Die Hart on Roku, not Roku. And they've also got Dummy, which is a Anna Kendrick show about a sex doll. It's pretty funny, actually. I'd recommend checking that one out. Let's see here. Okay, I'm just taking a look. All right. So we've got Jurassic Room, man. Hey, thanks for waiting.
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty good, man. So what's on your mind tonight?
Let's see, going pretty good. Funny, he just mentioned the 48 for Raiders of the Lost Ark. See, what was it? 2 days ago, the 11th, Jurassic Park was celebrated its 28th anniversary. And yesterday, Jurassic World celebrated its 6th anniversary.
Damn, I feel old.
I know what you mean, 2015. It's already been 6 years since then.
Well, I mean, for Jurassic Park, even like I remember being 11 and going to see, like, you know, I had just finished I think it was like the 5th grade. And, you know, I was getting ready to go. Yeah, I think wrapped up 5th grade, and I'm getting ready to go into 6th grade. And like, I remember going and seeing the movie and like having my mind melted by watching it, and then going out and getting the book and reading the book over the course of the summer. And then realizing, goddamn, they really left out a lot of things from the book. But that's okay, you know.
Yeah, it works better for better or worse. Like considering some things were probably much better, I think, from the movie. Like of course, like John Hammond's character, he's much more of a kind of a persnickety old guy in the book, and of course he died. But funny enough, they actually in that the cartoon Camp Cretaceous, they actually made a reference to his death in the comics or in the novel. They mentioned it as kind of one of those creepy stories you hear on YouTube, like what so and so millionaire died this way.
Oh, okay.
And they allude to that.
If I recall, he was killed by compies, wasn't he?
Yeah, Procompus Ignathus. And they kind of made this canon technically to the series that they were poisonous. He got bit, hallucinated, and passed out. And they found him later. Muldoon survived though in the novel.
That's right, he did, yeah. But I still love the part in the novel when they shoot the 1,000 cc's of trank into the raptor, and it just blows the fucker in half. Also, the raft scene was great in the book, which they did put the raft scene in the video game. So the raft scene was in the SNES and Genesis video game. Or no, I think it might have just been Genesis. I think it might have just been on Genesis. Either way, it was in the video game.
I do remember that.
And there was and then I remember before The Lost World came out, I was rapidly, the day we were waiting for the first showing, and I was in my friend's car, and I was rapidly trying to finish the book before going to see the movie. And I don't remember if I did finish it at that time or not, because it's been so long. But I still like The Lost World, and I like Jurassic Park 3. You know, I don't have any. I like Jurassic World, and I like Forbidden Kingdom. I can't wait for Dominion. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was from '99, so I didn't get to see them till like 04, 05 was when the first time my mom got me the 3 box sets that had just come out on DVD. We got to watch those in unison. And the first one I really saw was Jurassic Park 3, technically, because I think AMC had just or A&E had just played it on cable for the first time. And as a kid, I read the books, so I liked Spinosaurus, so I was fanatic that they actually put it in the movie, and it looked different from the books. But then after that, I waited another 10 years for Jurassic World. But let's see. With Colin, I'm a big fan of Colin Trevorrow, the director. I've liked him ever since learning about Jurassic World. He's a real fan-driven director. If you look at his thing, I really liked his episode 9 script. I think it would have been far better than Rise of Skywalker. But let's see. I do enjoy what he's set up for Dominion, especially, well, we got Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Sam Neill coming back. But as well, I mean, they went all out for especially the how they're setting up. I don't know if you read the articles, the interviews he's done with, I think, Empire and Collider.
Yeah, like they're doing two separate storylines. It's going to be about the Jurassic World cast, and then the other one's going to be Jurassic Park, but they're going to intersect.
Yeah, they'll intersect, as well as apparently the prologue that will take place in the past, 65 million years ago, which, if you don't know, within the Jurassic community, like, there's a lot of, so you have the fans who know that their dinosaurs are genetic hybrids, so forth, DNA, that's the gist, but there are a lot, and also just dinosaur geeks in general, who have been clamoring for years for more scientific accuracy and so forth. So it kind of gives them a little bit of what they want, seeing the scientifically accurate versions in the prologue, and then you get the other ones in the after that.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like, they've got that plausible deniability of frog DNA.
Yeah,
you know, and like that. I mean, but then again, what we knew about dinosaurs in '93 is now far greater than what we now. So I mean, and I know they're going to be doing like the prologue. I think is going to be appearing in front of Fast 9 when it opens in
Yeah.
IMAX here, and some people have already seen it. You know, it's going to be pretty fascinating to see what comes out of that, and I'm actually really tempted to go see it in IMAX just so I can see this prologue. I really want to see what's going to be the big thing
Yeah,
on
I
that.
really want to see it. I'm not sure if I'll go see Fast 9 to see it, but because I like to do everything on YouTube. But let's see, what was it? It was the other species that they talked about. Colin went over a lot of new species, some that we've seen in the movie so far, but some of the interesting ones that they decided were like the Quetzalcoatlus, which is a giant 40-foot wingspan pterosaur. Because we've already seen the pteranodons, and I thought it's funny how he mentioned that this thing comes in and they look like pigeons beneath this thing's feet, as well as let's see, we'll get the Giganotosaurus fighting the Tyrannosaurus, the prehistoric version before it dies. And one of the other interesting ones I thought, because he said it was a quick turnaround creature, was the Moros intrepidus, which only was discovered like 2 years ago. You may have seen it in your newsfeed. I know I saw it in mine. The little tiny feathered tyrannosaur they discovered, which they put into the film fairly quickly, from what he says.
Oh
So
wow!
it's
Well, I mean, it
interesting.
makes sense. They've had a lot of time. They've had a whole other year, you know, to
Yeah,
like work on it. Because it was supposed to come out this month. You know, that was the thing.
yeah.
It was, you know, so it's like, holy shit! Like, wow, yeah, that's crazy. So I mean,
Yeah.
I
Let's see,
take
what
it
else
that
is
you
with
are
Jurassic?
really looking forward to Jurassic World Dominion. I mean, given your screen name and
Oh yeah.
everything.
Um, yeah, I'm a big Jurassic fan, and this one sounds like it's gonna be a really great culmination. You know, if they don't do the Fast Furious 9 crossover, please don't do that. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I know everyone's excited in the community because it was Friday. We were gearing. Everyone's like ready because that was the original date. Everyone
Oh,
was a trailer or something coming out because Colin and Frank Marshall were teasing it. But I think it was the day before they released all the information for that, and they released the trailer for Jurassic Revolution 2, that game, the Park Builder sequel. Masters of the Universe Revelation also dropped, as well as I think the Monsters at Work teaser.
yeah. I wish I watched
All
that.
of it
That
dropped
looks
in one
pretty good.
day.
I mean, yeah. Well, this was a pretty busy week. A
Yeah.
lot of stuff came out there. I mean, like you had Netflix Geeked Week all week long, lots of stuff there. There was supposed to be a trailer for The Witcher that was supposed to drop today because yesterday they put out the 15-second teaser, and there's supposed to be the trailer, I believe today, but it could be tomorrow because of E3 and whatnot. But then again, they've got the Witcher Con coming up, I think next month, so they might be holding off until a trailer for that. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot. Like there's a lot that went on this week. It's been a pretty busy week overall, and I'm definitely like kind of glad that that part of it's over. Just because it's like, oh my god, like geez, there's so much I didn't talk about, and there's so much that like I wanted to kind of dive into more, but like you know I don't have fucking 80 hours
Yeah.
to do all that stuff. But all right, man. Hey, I still got a bunch of people that got to get on in here, and
All right. Oh,
I'm gonna let
one
you go.
more thing.
Yeah.
Have if you ever get a chance, just real quick, you gotta play Ghostbusters the game. If you ever get a chance before the new one.
Before the movie is, I'll definitely get it before the movie. Yeah, because I know it's I can I can get it the remastered version for pretty good price. I think.
Yeah, I want to get it remastered. It's one of the best video games I've ever played. It was a travesty they tried to make it on canon because you had all the original voice actors. It's just a phenomenal game.
Yeah, and I think the reason why they wanted to make it not canon was at the time, it had only been a year post the release of Ghostbusters 2016 when I was in the room when they announced that. But I think they were trying to find a way to make it work. You know, I think they were trying to find a way to tie in Ghostbusters 2016 to Ghostbusters 2 or, you know, Ghostbusters Prime in general. And
Yeah.
I think that after a while they realized that no one wants it, really. No one's clamoring for it. But I still think that Sony being Sony is going to try to find a way to merge the two together, and that Afterlife is going to somehow hint or allude to that.
Most
Which
likely.
I really hope that's not the case because I think that's gonna be pretty goddamn terrible. But all right, man. Yeah, thank you very much for calling on in, and we'll talk again soon. All right, man.
All right, have a good one.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good stuff going, buddy. Thank you. All right, thank you, Jurassic Room, for coming on in. Real quick, McLeod here, $5 super chat. It says Jack Black is voicing Claptrap. Well, that's good. I thought it was freaking Kevin Hart, man. My ass is wrong. TW asking if I'm excited for Ghostbusters Afterlife. The answer to that is yes. Yes, I am. I'm very much looking forward to that one. All right. So the next person we got coming on in, you guys know him. You guys love him. He's here all the time. Anthony.
How you doing?
What's up, man?
We haven't talked in a week, but I'm doing good. I watched Ghostbusters 1 and 2 with my mom.
Nice. You what else you been watching, huh?
I've been watching a lot of stuff. I've been watching trailers and everything. I'm watching Space Jam: A New Legacy. The He-Man trailer looks awesome.
Oh yeah, there was a new Space Jam trailer, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was.
Right, I didn't watch it because I just have no interest in that movie. But I do remember that the movie is coming out here in just a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks I get back my Facebook back.
Yeah, well, you gotta not get yourself in any trouble. Yeah, you gotta make sure that you're not going to go out there.
I cried during that song by Bobby Brown.
In Ghostbusters 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the final the end credit song, right?
Yeah, I hope they play in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
That'd be cool if they brought back the Bobby Brown song. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm excited for Ghostbusters Afterlife, but YouTube is going to remove the remaining episodes of Real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters.
Why is that?
I don't know. Because it's hot out.
Because it's hot. Well, I mean, there's generally a reason why they're going to remove that stuff. Oftentimes, it has a lot to do with just, what do you want to call it? Copyrights sort of thing is generally what it boils down to.
But I'm thinking about buying the Real Ghostbusters pack for my birthday.
You're gonna get a Proton pack?
No, the DVD.
Oh, sorry.
The Blu-ray, the DVDs of the whole Real Ghostbusters season, so I can binge watch them wherever I want it. It has the Slimer mini shorts in it.
Yeah, I mean, no, if you're looking to, I mean, I have a feeling like that's going to end up getting a lot of love as we get closer to it. I think as it starts, because I know there was like Ghostbusters Day, but it kind of came and went. I know last year they did a big event, I think, or because they did the 4K release of the two films.
I'm excited about Ghostbusters Afterlife. Whenever 3 years ago, I was watching the interview with Dan Aykroyd. He says Ghostbusters 3 is going to happen, and lo and behold, he was right.
Well, I mean, Dan Aykroyd has kind of been like the hype man for Ghostbusters for a very, very, very long time. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, like, he's gonna say whatever he can to keep people hyped up in it. But I think the trailer did a good job. That little minute-long thing with the mini Stave Puft did a good job.
I hope they do Slimer, a full movie of Slimer, his own movie.
I believe they were talking about that.
I could play the Chef Luigi.
So yeah, I've heard talks about there was supposed to be some Slimer thing for a while. It was I think it was going to be like a story about like Slimer in a high school or some shit like that. It sounded ridiculously stupid, to be honest.
But the thing is, that would be a good idea. But the thing is, I had a bad day today. I woke up grumpy because Trauma Dance. I really want to go see Lloyd in Trauma Dance, but unfortunately Lloyd decided to push the Trauma Dance in Pennsylvania.
So they just pushed it to another date?
No, they pushed it to another town.
Oh, okay. And you can't go to it?
Oh, well, it's too far away.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if it's really important to you, then you go and see it.
But the thing is, it's too far away. I had no. My mom could have drive me, but unfortunately, it was too far away. It was like a 2-day event. You have to camp overnight and everything.
Oh yeah, okay, I get you.
Yeah, but they missed me over there, But the thing is that I shout you out on my YouTube channel.
Thank you.
I
Thank
said
you.
my thoughts and pins of you. It's up there, but I'm doing good and everything. I went to the beach on Thursday with my worker, and I got sunburn.
Well, that's not good. You got to make sure you wear sunblock on that one, Anthony.
Yeah, I know. I was walking, and then we had McDonald's, and that was it.
Well, all right, man. Well, that's good. I'm gonna let you go. I got more people to get to, buddy. I appreciate you calling on in.
No problem. We'll talk again.
Okay, but have a good one. Thank you very much, Anthony Chabot. Everybody, Anthony, go write your story, buddy. All right, I'm gonna hound you on that one till I see a finished, completed manuscript of the epic Anthony Chabot life, because that's something you've been hyping it here since forever, and you have people here who like you and want to read it. They want to know the epicness. Finish your book. That's my thing. All right, let's get into the next one here. John, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, Matt, can you hear me?
I can, yeah. So what's on your mind for tonight?
Well, the last time I watched He-Man, when I was like 8 years old, which was like, 40, 50 years ago. And I'm amazed that you actually had the comment that He-Man had a plot, because I don't remember a plot when I was that young.
I don't remember. I remember watching the show. I remember seeing the movie a bunch. I don't quite know I couldn't tell you what the plot is off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching, like, they had something called Saturday morning cartoons. So we would watch all the cartoons, like the Bugs Bunny, the Roadrunner and the Wile E. Coyote had a better plot than what I remember from the He-Man,
Well, I mean, those, a lot of those shows back then, they didn't really have like the most cohesive plot, because they were just like, all right, just crank out the shows. I mean, back then you would get these 40 episode seasons or something. It would just be like an insane amount of episodes that they would, and a lot of it's like reusing assets and animatics and stuff like that. And they're just trying to make it work. So, I mean, yeah, I don't really fault them for back in the day. But it's kind of, and the thing is, a lot of that stuff boils down to it's from our childhood, so we give it this massive rose colored glasses, it's like, I remember when I was a kid, absolutely loving The Last Starfighter when I was a kid.
Yeah. I saw revisited that in the theater like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah. When you're a kid, movie. It's such a cool movie. Revisit it as an adult and you're like, I don't know. It's not as grand. It's not as great as it could have, as you remember when you were a kid. My friend Carlton once put it, some things are just better left in, some things are just better left in your childhood. But then some things hold up pretty well. I still think Willow holds up really well. A lot of the 80s movies, you can look past a lot of the bad effects because they were still so new at the time. But, some movies are just it's like, go back and watch The Never-Ending Story. The Never-Ending Story, everyone's, Atreyu, right? Like, people know it. Oh, the childlike emperor, Falcor, all those things. Artax, all that stuff. Go back and watch it again. Yeah, Wolfgang Peterson directed the movie, and it's a well-directed movie, but the effects are definitely showing their age.
Yeah.
And then it's then you follow up with Jonathan Brandis as Sebastian in the Never-Ending Story 2. And I think I've seen the Never-Ending Story 2 more times than I've seen the original, but then you get a Never-Ending Story 3 where the villain is Jack Black.
Huh.
I'm not kidding. A lot of it takes place in a damn mall.
Huh.
Yeah. If they're going to reboot anything, anything from when we were a kid, I would say reboot the Never-Ending Story and then just give it a much more cohesive plot line. Maybe not have the childlike empress. That could be a little bit on the problematic side.
Yeah, well, some movies, the special effects held up, and the two ones that I think held up the best are Star Wars and Jurassic Park. And when I saw Star Wars the first time, it was like, wow, But then I guess the other wow would be Jurassic Park.
Well, I think that's held up. Star Wars is held up. Indiana Jones is held up. Blade Runner is held up. There are elements of things that have always kind of held up. And I mean, Goonies is held up, for crying out loud. Big Trouble in Little China has held up. Escape from New York is absolutely held up. The Thing is held up. And those are lower budget films.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like one of the coolest effects from Escape from New York is when they have the glider sequence and Snake is coming into New York and he's looking at the monitor and the monitor is showing that grid, that what appears to be like a CG grid of New York as he's navigating around the buildings. That was a practical effect. They took a model scale of New York City and they put green chroma tape, right? Green tape.
Uh-huh.
And they built the grid of all the buildings, and then they just shined a black light at it. And it looked like it was a grid, like it was a computer generated grid, but it was actually a practical effect. Like that, I mean, like that holds up, and it's a cool little factoid. And, you know, it's a fun ass movie. They live I mean, John Carpenter in the 80s practically entirely lives up to his reputation. So yeah, I mean, like some things do really well, some things don't, obviously, but you know, Night, fucking Fright Night is an 80s film that holds up. Silver Bullet, I'm sorry, I like it. It holds up. You know, so there's
one of my favorite shows that doesn't hold up is Kolchak the Night Stalker. You know? They were bad in the day, and today it's just comical. But I've always liked the character Carl Kolchak. He had a comic book series that was actually really good, so I was happy to read that. But
all right,
Kolchak, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it. You know, wait, who? You're talking Kolchak or Kojak?
Kolchak, the Night Stalker.
Okay, isn't that the one that was like the reporter guy, right?
Yeah, that's the reporter guy.
Okay, because then you have Kojak with Telly Savalas.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm trying to figure out, like,
which one is it? Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't think Telly Savalas is Kojak, the Night Stalker. We're going to get that guy. We're going to get that fucking vampire. I'm going to fucking take him out back. I'm going to beat him with my big, bald bitch head. That's not Telly Savalas at all.
Oh, no.
And he would kill me for making that terrible joke, but he's dead, so I'm okay. But also, by the way, Telly Savalas kicked serious ass back in the day. And if you can watch a movie with him and Brock Hudson called Pretty Little Maids All in a Row.
There was one movie where a bunch of those old action guys got together. I can't think of the name of the movie, but it wasn't similar to the Expendables, but they got a bunch of the old hard action actors together, like Telly Savalas, Yul Brynner, and a couple others. I just can't remember the movie, but that just reminded me of that.
Hold on, let's see here. I'm just looking up right now.
Yeah.
What were they?
Yul Brynner, Telly Savalas, and I think there was two other, the hard hitters. I can't think of the movie. It could all just be my messed up memory, so I don't know. But
I don't know. I mean, they were. I mean, there's a lot of those older guys you'd like to see kind of get back. And I mean, well, there was, I mean, the Crime Boss collection has got, I don't know what those guys were in together, to be honest with you. I can't.
That's okay. I don't know.
They're definitely old school,
very old school,
and everything else. So yeah, that's,
it's okay.
But all right, man. Hey, I'll let you go so I can kind of blaze for everybody else.
Yeah.
We got some more people that are coming on in.
No problem.
I appreciate you stopping by, John, and have yourself a great night, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks. All right. And then we got Simon's section here saying, thank you, by the way. Says, you do realize that if The Martian wasn't financially and critically successful, we may have gotten Neil's alien version instead of Engineer Space Jesus. I mean, yeah, but didn't Ridley Scott even F over, was it Drew Goddard, who wrote the script and he was going to direct the movie, but Ridley pushed his way in order to take it over? Ridley, I mean, as much as I love Ridley Scott, and he's probably earned his right to be a dickhead, he's been a bit of a dickhead. There's a bunch of movies that is happening. All right. So next up we've got Ryan Hartwell, man. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Matt.
What's on your mind, man?
Well, I just got back from watching In the Heights. So did you go to the theater or watch it on HBO Max? I watched it in the theater at my local theater. Yeah.
Any good? I haven't seen a trailer. I have no idea what the hell it's about.
Yeah, same thing. I went into it completely blind, knowing absolutely nothing about it other than it takes place in New York and it's some sort of musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, okay. So I'll just not watch it then myself, probably. I haven't even seen Hamilton, right? I haven't watched Hamilton. You know, I think my only experience with Lin-Manuel Miranda as like an actual like composer and songwriter is like Moana, which I won't lie, I do love all the tracks in Moana.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably, you know, should check out Hamilton.
Yeah. So of course, being a musical guy and a theater guy, it was something. It was really something. You know, the music numbers were good. The choreography was pretty solid. And so what the movie was really about, it's about this Latino community in Washington Heights in New York City. So,
okay.
And of course, there's a lot of rap numbers and all that, you know, being Lin-Manuel Miranda and all that. And by the way, he does cameo in this as well.
Oh yeah, he's on the poster even. Isn't like, you know, yeah, look, as much as you know, like the guy is talented, but he also likes to see himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, I mean, looking here at the IMDb, so it's a film version of a Broadway musical in which Usnavi, a sympathetic New York bodega owner, saves every penny every day as he imagines and sings about a better life. Okay. I mean, like, you know, I mean, I don't mind musicals. I don't mind them. I just have to be in the right mood for them.
Sure.
And I mean, I've only been to New York one time. So it's kind of like, you know, nothing about that really ever speaks to me on the perspective of like, oh, I have a cultural connection to this. You know, if it was like, let's say a musical set in a strip club, then we're talking. But right now it's not. And so it's definitely, but I do think John M. Chu is a good director. And I like his music videos, and I thought he did a good job with. Surprisingly, I thought he did a fun job with G.I. Joe Retaliation. So I, you know, it might be worth checking out. Didn't he also? Yeah. Didn't he also do Gem and the Holograms?
Yes, he did.
Oh lordy, that's a movie.
And also the Never Say Never Justin Bieber documentary.
Oh, true. But then he also did Now You See Me Too.
And I think he also did Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes, and that was and that's definitely blown up. You know, so a lot of people, and then I guess he's also in the process of doing pre-production on Wicked. He's going to do Wicked. And that's one that, you know, you've been waiting to see something on for quite some time, is, you know, like the story of Wicked. And I don't know, like I tell you this, they don't need to do live action like remakes of these fucking plays. They just don't. They just need to like shoot it, you know, bring in a crew, shoot it like they shot Hamilton, put that shit like on DVD and like let it sell, you know, because it's like, I saw Avenue Q back in 2007. A friend of mine was working at the theater where it was playing in San Diego. He had some comp tickets and he offered them to me. So I went to go see it. And I'd heard the song, The Internet Is for Porn, you know? So I was familiar with like the idea of it. And then I went and I watched it. I'm like, oh my God, this was so good. And it's been 14 years. And like, I've watched bootleg copies of it on YouTube. Cause I found like off Broadway, well, you know, like localized stage productions of it that are in decent quality, that you can watch. But it's like, man, I'd love to get like the actual Broadway cast of this and buy the Blu-ray and watch it, you know, and like actually enjoy. Cause the thing is, like, I don't live near Broadway. I'm not going to travel to go to any of these shows. The likelihood of me spending $160 on a ticket is exceptionally low. So it's like, sell me the Blu-ray for $25 and we'll talk.
Yeah, I think the closest thing we have to Broadway here in Washington is probably Fifth Avenue in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, in Portland, there was a fair amount. You know, San Diego had a fair amount. LA had a little bit here and there, but it's again, you're talking, I'm like, I've said this before, I said, I think Broadway is shooting itself in the foot by not expanding outward. But at the same time, Broadway makes an absolute shitload of money on its own. So it's like Broadway makes a lot of money just in, I mean, like Cats is like $1 billion property. So then they made this, so let's make the movie, and the movie was just god awful.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the thing about Cats is that you either absolutely love it or you absolutely hate it. There is no in between. And also, it's kind of considered the black sheep of the theater community. But with that in mind, I think yeah, the film adaptation of Cats really shot itself in the foot by being not only hyper realistic, but being in live action in general. And because back in the day, Steven Spielberg was originally going to do an anime version of Cats, and I think even though there isn't much of a story there, I think it would have done something more with it in that medium, in my opinion.
Sure. No, I totally get that. I think that the biggest problem is, like it's hard to adapt plays, and so, I mean, obviously, people want to, they want to find a way, because obviously these companies, these production companies are trying to find any way they can to make money. But I feel like when it comes to adapting things, it's like certain things, like certain things in the theater, you're not going to be able to adapt to the screen. It's like watching Sweeney Todd, for example. A friend of mine, huge Sweeney Todd fan, loved the play. We went to go see the movie, and he was like, I hate the movie. Because it's like, again, you have this preconceived notion of what it is. Whereas me, I've never seen the play. I thought the movie was all right. Like, it was like, all right. I thought here. Some of this, I didn't care for the music. I liked the story. I liked the way Tim Burton directed it, but I thought the music was terrible. It was just so repetitive in my mind. It was like the same, song over and over and over again. I just didn't care for it. And so it's, again, but hit or miss. It's just totally hit or miss. Like if you were to do an Avenue Q movie, like it would be like a bunch of puppets, and everything else, which could be done pretty easily. But then also, like, look at what was it, The Book of Mormon? Trey Parker and Matt Stone's play that I really want to see, and I think that would be really cool. Hopefully, one day I will be able to see it. I think there's a bootleg copy of on Vimeo from some place, but I want to see like the Josh Gad performance. Because he was in it. He was in the first run. So it's like, I just feel like when it comes to plays, they F all this stuff up constantly.
Well, that's the thing. I loved the music in Sweeney Todd, but I can understand why people, wouldn't be musical people. It's just, really hard to, to get it right.
It really is. It really is hard to get a lot of those right. It's like kind of like, it's like adaptations even of books and stuff, right? As much as I love Ready Player One, I never really bought Ty Sheridan as Wade and Olivia Cook as Artemis, because like I felt like they were a bit too miscast. I still enjoyed their performances, but I in my mind, when I read the book, I had envisioned a lot different people, and so when you have that connection, it's everything can come across as a bit crazy. So, all right. So anyway, man, I'll let you go because I got to still get through like 5 more people.
Okay.
But I appreciate you calling on in, Ryan. Okay. I have to just ask you a question. Have you sent me anything else in my PO box that I don't know about?
Not recently.
Okay. Cause I checked it today and I got this notice saying like, you have too much mail. You have to come back when we're open to get it. And I'm like, that's odd. Cause I never really get anything. Because I never promote the PO box. You've sent me stuff. Some other people have sent me stuff, but it's like usually it's very few and far between. And so I'm like, okay, I just want to ask you because I'm like, I have no idea. But no, I as soon as I'm done with DuckTales, I'll be kicking off the Gravity Falls because I'm watching DuckTales with my kids right now.
Okay.
And so I've got my 3-year-old singing the DuckTales song every time it comes on.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool. So then I'm going to get her into Gravity Falls because she'll just go, oh, Louise, because Kristen Shaw.
Oh yeah.
So, But yeah, we're definitely going to dive into that one, and then I'll be able to figure out that cryptogram you sent. So I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
All right, we'll talk again. Have a good one, Ryan. Thank you.
You too.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Ryan, for that one. All right. Simon here, another $5 says, wow moment. One wow moment I remember that still holds up is a church window night scene in the movie Young Sherlock Holmes, first ever CG before Jurassic Park. I've actually never seen Young Sherlock Holmes, so I don't know about that. I'm sorry, but I've heard about it being the first one to use CG. So, but I need to go check that one out. If it's streaming, let me know. I can go try to find it. And then I saw hold on here. I saw this really Tony here being a little cheeky. Where the hell is HBart? Shouldn't he be flooding the stream with endless amounts of cash? No. He's come on, dude. Anyway, all right. And then next up we've got Andrew Casali. How's it going, Andrew?
Hello, John.
So I heard you got into some controversy the other night.
Oh, this again.
I mean, like I was just, my Twitter timeline was just full of like people talking about something about someone named Andrew, and I'm all like, who's Andrew? And they're like, Casali. I'm like, what do you do now?
Oh man, it's a long story. I'd rather not talk about it.
Sure. All right. So what's on your mind?
Well, yeah, I was like looking through some certain things, and I thought to myself, I had a good idea for like a pitch for like a Spider-Man related pitch.
Okay. And, I mean, like those are always kind of fun.
Yeah. It's gonna be based off Spider-Verse, but a little bit different.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow what the comics did with the Inheritors, but this time I'm gonna use the Peter Parkers that in media that are most well known. I'll take the movie versions, McGuire, Garfield, and Holland, even some of the cartoon versions like the '90s animated series, Spectacular, and the Ultimate Comic cartoon series.
Okay.
Yeah, even the PS4 game. I'm gonna have all of them team up to defeat and save all reality. So it's gonna be like the comic Spider-Verse, but this time it's the Spider-Man in the media from the cartoons and movies.
Okay, so who are they going to be fighting?
Oh, it's based off the comics for Spider-Verse, where it's a group called the Inheritors who wants to destroy all of the reality by feeding on each of the different versions of Spider-Man.
And okay, wait, so only Spider-Man is the key?
Yeah, well, apparently, because I was reading the comic earlier today, and man, it gets crazy.
Okay, I mean, like, I always find it weird when it's kind of like, when it's like, oh, we need to eat all, like, or to kill all the versions of like this person.
Or maybe if you want, I can change it up and make the villain Superior Spider-Man, which is Doc Ock in Spider-Man's body.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say if you're going to do it right, like, because there are copyright laws you have to adhere to. And I'm not a lawyer.
So far right now, it's an idea. I just now after.
Oh, I see. So you just had the idea. So what I would recommend is don't publish anything. But definitely, write it. Write it, and then figure out a way for you to do everything you can to strip away all access to like other, all other things, right? Like all copyrighted material. Think of it like,
for now, I'm just gonna have my own thing until I know when the time is right.
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing with that though, and I'll just be real. That the biggest problem here is that you've got what is it? You're dealing with Disney because Disney has the publishing rights to Spider-Man. Sony only has the distribution rights for film.
Well, so most of the versions I said were under Sony, like the Raimi Spider-Man, but some weren't, like the '90s animated cartoon version.
Well, yeah, but they still have that because that was Fox, and so they still have that. What I mean by that is, don't publish anything because unless it's a fanfic, they're not going to care about a fanfic.
Well, it's mostly a fanfic. It's not.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're if you're trying to like find a way to like profit off of it, don't.
No.
But yeah, I mean, write it out, man. Like go online and like look up a story, creator program or website that helps you plot things out, and then like spend time actively plotting the story. Come up with with a nice elevator pitch, right? Like about 3 to 5 sentences about what it's about, real honed, practiced, and then when the time is right, go and go and just.
Yeah, the reason why I thought of this because since I'm known as the Spider-Man expert, I thought to myself, since every time they try to do Spider-Verse out there, it's only been like the comics and all that stuff, like the HWAD and all that stuff. And I thought to myself, why not do it for the versions that don't get much recognition in the Spider-Verse, like the ones in cartoons and the movies, like the Sam Raimi version and the 90s cartoon.
Well, I mean, again, it's a lot of it is like they have to look at the viability of the property and whether or not they're going to be able to like profit off of it. So, and oftentimes
I don't do all that distribution.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like if you're wondering why like it never happens, I mean, there's a lot of it's a lot of it also I think boils down to like the ego of the producers because they want to put their particular stamp on it and they want it to work. I mean, look, I'll tell you the same thing I tell Anthony about his book. I'm like, just write it, because you don't have to do anything with it, but it's best to just get it out of you, right? It's like it's best to just get it out of you. And put it on paper somewhere or in a Word doc file somewhere, because then it's just out of you. And then you can figure out if you want to fine tune it and like figure out a way to do more with it. And there's a ton of fan fiction websites you could probably upload it to that.
I mean, I first had the idea when I saw a video earlier today where they took the series finale they had of the 90s animated series where the 90s Peter Parker did defeat Spider-Carnage. He had the help of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, the Garfield version, the Ultimate Comics Peter Parker, the one where Peter Parker is fully consumed by the symbiote, and the one where Peter Parker is a zombie.
Oh my God. That's, I mean, there's a lot to pull from. I mean, I say just work on it, dude, and you might get a wholly original idea while you're working on it, and then that can help you. You can flesh things out that way. Because you'd be amazed at like I've had a lot of fanfic ideas over the years. That. Really? Well, I mean, like I talked about one a few weeks ago where I was like I wanted to do like a Star Wars fan fiction where like George Lucas actually met a Jedi that had come to Earth when he was a kid.
Oh my God!
That's where he learned the legend of Luke Skywalker. That's where he got that's where he learned about the Jedi and he learned about it.
So and then characters exist in real life.
And then what happened is when the movie, like when we entered the digital age and like it broadcast over satellite, it broadcast out into space. And then the Empire or like what the rest of the Empire, whatever's out there, they picked up on it. And then they came to Earth because how would they know this story? So clearly there's a Jedi here on Earth. Yeah. And then it's like the military has to fight the Empire and it's up to like a group of kids to like work with a Jedi in order to like take down. I don't know who the villain would be, but it was just an idea. It mostly just centered around.
So meta.
It's like it mostly centered around the one scene in my mind where like they have like a U-Haul van or like a trailer and like they're stuck in traffic and they have to get somewhere. And it's like, they open the back of the trailer and inside are 2 speeder bikes. And so like, they're like on like the I-5 freeway, like in California, like leading into LA where it's just like nothing but like, nuts to butts traffic. And then you just see like 2 speeder bikes, like just weaving in and out of like, just to like get to where they need to get to. It's like just stupid shit like that. But the thing is like, it sticks with you over the years and I might find a way to do something, down the road with it or whatever, but not tied to Star Wars, obviously its own original thing.
So that's one thing. Another thing I wanted to bring up is that I saw you have a review day on Loki and I liked the episode too.
Yeah, it was a good episode. In fact, RJ and I had a good time talking about that. It was good stuff.
Yeah, and when I was watching it, like one thing, like I brought up to like some people is that he was surprised that like everything we've seen in the MCU since Iron Man 1 was predestined.
Yeah. I mean, like Iron Man 1 to me is just it just kind of set the tone, and all they've done since then is build off of it in a way that really works. And I think when it comes to Loki, they've
if you use that show logic, then the Avengers were always meant to split because of Zemo. Thanos always meant to do the snap and all that.
Oh yeah, well, people who are mad about the Infinity War or the Infinity Stones thing, they just don't get it. They just don't get it.
I saw that.
Yeah,
they just seeing stones in a drawer means that the 10-year saga was meaningless.
Yeah, well, it's not meaningless though. That's the whole thing. It's like
that's how they say.
Well, they're also idiots who like to stir the pot for no other reason than just to be a dick.
The guy you showed on your stream one time, heels babyface.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I mentioned him, but he's I don't know how much of that's being sarcastic. I know people that used to watch him, but they've when he did wrestling or whatever, but they've just kind of lost interest. I'm not too sure.
Oh, I've heard of him before. The dude's known for trashing the writing on the show Watcher on Doctor Who.
Because the thing is, going after Doctor Who is profitable. That's all it boils down to. I mean, like I don't like Doctor Who, so I don't watch Doctor Who.
That's all right.
And it's like that's kind of how I only want to spend time engaging in things that I like versus things that I don't. But hey, man, I'm gonna let you go. I still got like more people came on in, so I got to kind of breach some people and shit. It's great. I appreciate everyone who calls on in and makes the night go by a lot faster. But thanks for coming in, Andrew, and we'll talk again soon. All right, man.
Bye.
All right, see ya. Thank you very much. Okay, let me just quickly double check the chat here if I missed anything good. I see. Oh, I say, hey, what's up, RJ? How you doing? We'll get to you here in a minute, man. All right. YouTube made great again. What's up, man?
What's up, Matt?
Nah, not too much. Just chilling tonight. What's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to hear your thoughts on the Battlefield trailer, and are you excited for the gameplay reveal it's technically today where because it's like 4 in the morning.
10 a.m. It is 9.5 hours until the Xbox presentation. And I'll tell you this right now, I don't give a shit about Battlefield 6. I watched that trailer. I was bored to tears.
Wait, really?
Because it's yes. Yeah. I mean, like, look, dude, because all it was just like, I get they're trying to go back to just like, we're multiplayer, motherfucker. Like, I get that. All right. I understand that. But at the same time, I feel like Battlefield 5 just like set everything back so far. And then, you know what? I thought Battlefield 1 was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Battlefield 1. But Battlefield 4 sucked at first, and they made it better finally. And then also DICE, who is like the pinnacle of multiplayer, still fucked up Battlefront, because of EA. And then it took them years to come back and fix it to where like it's a whole different game.
Well, the way I've seen and what I saw and what they like, how they explain it's going to work, I've got to be honest, I'm nervous. Like, I'm excited because we finally got the modern setting again, which I've been dying for. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked Battlefield 5 a little, and I liked Battlefield 1. They both had their quirks, but it just didn't feel. It's like Hardline, in my opinion. I get it. But it's not as good as what it could have been. You know what I mean? And the three things that have me worried are, one, the specialist system that they're trying to pull, this whole, like, we're going to besiege shit. 2, how they're going to spawn the vehicles in, which, the way it was explained, it sounded kind of like how you did in Battlefront 2, you earn enough points, you can drop a tank, or you can spawn in a tank, so on and so forth. And I get that's cool, but at the same part, like I don't know how that's going to be balanced, and I don't like it. I think the what we had before was so on and so perfect. And the third thing is like the Levolution. Like, I like that. Like, I think tornado's interesting and stuff, but like, something about like that tornado makes me think like, oh my god, it's like it's the tornado again. Like, it's like going to come back saying, like it's not
honestly, fuck Levolution. It was a failed concept. I didn't care for it in BF5, and I thought it was kind of dumb. I just think that it's like when they're showing you like this 5 minute in-game engine trailer, and it's like all this crazy, or I mean, like when they have the guy jump out of the plane, rocket and destroy the other plane, and then land back in his plane. I'm like, yeah, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to recreate. They're trying to recreate moments from the multiplayer experience, and they're thinking that's going to be what their audience wants. Yeah, maybe, sure, but it's like those moments exist in game. Those moments being recreated by a corporate entity come across as very cringe, very cheap. And then all of a sudden it cuts to them and they're like, oh, like they're fighting, and then they look up and there's like this big ass fucking tornado, and you're like, and they gotta run. And it's like, wait, what, huh? Like there's is this fucking Just Cause 4? Like, what are you doing? Yeah. It ended up, I was just so bored by it. Now look, I'll watch the gameplay footage tomorrow when they drop it. Me personally, I want State of Decay 3, which is what I think we're gonna get some stuff on that one. And then I want at least a new trailer. And what I want is Halo Infinite. Those are the two things I want and whatever else are going to be dropping to Game Pass. Cause I just picked up the Xbox Series S, which I like a lot, by the way. It's a good little console. And, and I'm like looking forward to playing, to diving back into the Xbox ecosystem, but I really only care about a couple of the exclusives. That's why I bought it.
Let me ask you something. Now, a buddy of mine who works for Microsoft says they're thinking about putting the new Battlefield on Game Pass. Now, if they do that, would you play it more versus having to I know that
if I don't have to if it was $15 a month, I would play it for like a month and then I would delete it.
I also don't like that they took out the campaign. I get that, like, everyone's like, oh, but nobody plays the campaign. Well, I did. I've always played, like, campaigns and like, COD and Battlefield.
I'm honestly surprised that they didn't just come out and say that we had the courage to remove the campaign. Because it comes across like a real... It's just like... I mean, obviously, because here's the thing. No campaign, no Battle Royale, $70 at launch. Literally eat my asshole. Like there's and I mean I get it, like their battle royale mode that was in BF5 was okay. It was okay. It wasn't Warzone.
I'm sorry, it sucked. Like
it was okay. It wasn't Warzone. Warzone they did a lot to make Warzone work. It's not Fortnite, it's not PUBG. But they did a lot to make it work. I mean, even like Fallout 76 is like, look, we're Xing the nuclear winter mode because people just aren't playing it. So, I mean, and that might change because they announced that it's going away. So people want to check it out. And 2, it's free to play this week on, I think it's free to play this week. So people might download Fallout 76 and finally give it a shot. So there's that, but I don't know what they're going to do essentially with it. But I am looking forward to the Bethesda stuff tomorrow as well.
Do you think that VR is going to finally die out? Like we're getting to the zombie game level of hopefully dead. You know what I mean?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Which one's going to die out?
Battle Royale. Do you think we're gonna get to? Do you think we're coming close to like 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 when the zombie game genre, like everything was a zombie game? Like, do you think we're gonna get that soon with Battle Royale?
No, it's too popular. Fortnite is still really good, and PUBG is still going really strong, and Warzone's doing fantastic. Now we're not going anywhere with it. Now it's going to require other companies to really kind of like up their game with it, I think Fallout 76 is an interesting concept of nuclear winter, but at the same time, there's already so much distrust with that particular game. It just wasn't going to bring in new people.
And one last thing, are you excited for Rosario Dawson picking up the Division movie?
Wait, picking up the what movie?
I always pronounce his name wrong. The guy, Rawson Dawson.
Rawson.
Maybe it was Thunder. I don't know. The guy who's going to direct the Division.
Rawson Thurber?
Yes, thank you. God damn, I can't think of his name. drawing a blank.
Which what movie is she going to be in?
Oh no, maybe it's a director. I thought it was Ross and.
Well, you said Rosario Dawson, so I'm like.
I'm probably pronouncing the name wrong, but it's I thought it was Rawson Thunder.
Yeah, Rawson Thurber. Yeah, but what's he?
He's
what's
directing.
He doing?
He's directing the new Division movie.
I thought that was David Leitch who's directing it, but did they change it?
No, they changed it. He's the new director. David Leitch basically backed out, and he came in. And what I like about him coming in is like, it's a Division fan. It's somebody who's gonna and I'm not saying that like he's like I'm a Division guy. No, like he named like 10 exotics from both games to like prove to like, hey guys, I'm not like the other guys. Like I'm gonna respect this shit. So I'm like really excited because like, but my problem is also like, just because you respect a video game franchise doesn't mean it's gonna turn into great cinematography. Like the Tomb Raider movie was like almost identical to 1 and 2 of the reboot of the Survive and Rise and Survive, and it kind of sucked towards a movie standpoint. Like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm worried that like I've been like excited for this movie since like I heard the rumors that it was going to be made in 2015 when the game came out. Like, so I just don't want to be disappointed, you know? Like, I don't want to go in with hype, but it's like my favorite franchise. So like, it's hard to not go in with hype, you know?
Well, that might happen, and you're just going to have to, unfortunately, you're going to have to brace for impact. So, I mean, like, that's just, that is the, that is the cold, hard reality of it. You know, you're just going to have to brace for impact on it. They're not shooting it right away. You know, Rawson Thurber is a fan, so expect it to be maybe a bit more handled better. But anyway, man, I gotta let you go, man. I still got a bunch of people that's jumped on in, so I gotta make my way through. But all right, thanks a lot for coming on in, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, real quick here. Simon Section $5, man. Thank you. Says your Jedi meets George Lucas pitch sounds like the Galaxy Quest sequel that could have been Rip Alan Ruckman. I know it's parodying Star Trek. No. I mean, for one, Galaxy Quest, I was just rewatching that on Amazon Prime a couple weeks ago, and that movie still holds up 20 years later. I absolutely adore it. Would have loved to have seen a sequel. I know there's supposedly like some either continuation or reboot or something on Amazon with, I think, Paul Schrader. Haven't heard shit about that in forever. Wondering what's going on with it, but I think this deal, I don't know what's going on. So hopefully they got something new. And then Peter Rabbit's Defender here, $10, man. Thank you. Says, as a musical fan, La La Land is the best one. I feel like the haters and the film Twitter were too harsh on this. If Trump doesn't win back then, people wouldn't have been upset like that. I saw La La Land 8 times in cinemas. Wow, I haven't seen it once yet, so I don't know. I just don't know anything about it. I know that it's been criticized, but it's also well loved. Film Twitter is harsh on a lot of things. That's just true. That's just kind of how film Twitter is at this point, and I get it. But if Trump didn't win back then, people wouldn't be upset like that. I don't know what you mean by that, to be honest with you. I don't know what Trump has to do with La La Land. I just know like the whole Oscar screw up is about it. So if you want to fill me in on what Trump's connection is, I'd like to know, because that's fascinating. But all right, here, let's let's see. Okay. I said Ryan here isn't waiting a while, man. Thank you very much for waiting, Ryan.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing okay, man. Just chilling and doing some calls and hanging out for like another 20 minutes or so.
Yep. I just been rewatching Batman the Anime Series. It looked really good on HD. My God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The blacks really pop on that one, don't they? It's like the best show to remaster in high definition, because it's like, look at all the dark.
There's, and it's fake so that when they have MCU.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, like yeah, I love the Batman animated series. And I was watching it when it first premiered on DC Universe, when they first dropped it on there, because that's when they put up the HD remaster. I would love to see an HD remaster of Batman Beyond, as well as Superman the anime. No, Superman just got released on there. I don't know if it's an HD remaster though. I don't know. So so I kind of got to rapid fire this one. So what's on your mind tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. Just chilling.
Okay. No, I hear you, dude. I hear you. It's Saturday. I think it's Saturday. I got no fucking idea anymore.
It's Sunday now.
Yeah, it is. So you're watching Batman. Have you seen anything else new?
Sailor Moon Crystal?
Which one is that one?
Sailor Moon Crystal?
Is that an anime?
Yeah, that follow like the manga. Try and follow the manga.
I don't watch anime or read
manga. I'll just ask
like,
RJ about that one.
Yeah, RJ would be the guy to talk to. I mean, it's like RJ. I like RJ a lot, but he could sniff out that manga stuff. He'd be like, let me tell you about this anime, or sorry, anime. I gotta make sure I say it correctly. The weebs might come for me in my sleep. Just like, why didn't you say it correctly, Matthew?
Just like Freddy Krueger.
Say it correctly. Say it. What? Anime? It's anime. That's anime. I could call it Japanime. How about that, you fucking bastards? Like, come at me, you limp-wristed people. You can't do nothing. Like, I'm not afraid. I mean, like the thing with a lot of weebs at Comic-Con is like, you can smell them coming. A few of them you can, really. And that's not being mean. That is just being truthful. There are people at Comic-Con that you're like, you don't shower. And it's kind of easy to tell when you can see like the dirt buildup in certain parts of like their height. Anyway, I know. And anime people, they shower. I'm not saying they don't shower. I'm saying some don't shower. Is what I'm saying.
I did finish The Witcher like a couple weeks ago.
Nice. The Witcher's a great show. I'm like, I want to know when this new trailer is supposed to drop. I thought it was going to drop today. I guess it's not out yet. So, but anyway, man. All right, dude. I'll let you go, brother, because I saw I get through a few people and whatnot. But I appreciate you waiting and then coming on. And we'll talk again. Maybe not about anime because I don't know anything about it, but
no, there's on like other stuff.
Yeah, so if you watch anything else, like, let me know.
Okay, bye.
All right, thanks a lot, dude. Have yourself a good one. Thank you very much. All right, real quick here. Peter Roberts Defender, $2 says, if I had a better prob, I'd call and explain. Okay, yeah, let me know. I do want to know about what you mean by that, but it's I get it. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the show, guys. If you haven't already, do me a solid and throw down some likes on the video. That would be great. If you guys can do that, that'd be wonderful. I'd really appreciate it. And just for the sake, I'm going to get to Eddie, and then the last two people I'm going to bring in together because they know each other. So Eddie, I know you've been waiting a while, brother. What's going on? Oh my God, Eddie. Oh my God. All right. He's been having connection issues constantly, trying to get in. I've been watching him like dipping it out from his phone. He's finally here. Wait a minute. Eddie. All right. You're going to have to let me know, man, when you come back in, and then we'll get you. All right. Real quick here. I want to see this here. Benzen says, cannot recommend Sweet Tooth enough. It's superb. Is it a show or is it a movie? I need to probably watch it then. I need to check that one out. Okay. Yeah, Eddie, when you figured out you'd come on back. All right. Well, okay. And then RJ, I was going to bring in William was there, and then he just dipped out. So
whoops.
I was going to bring in William, the Wise, as he is referred to on other streams. Here he's just William, because I don't believe in labels.
Yeah, well, I figured I'd just come on. That way I could say hello to your subscribers. That way you can lose a few more subs, apparently.
Yeah, no, so RJ and I talked about Loki from the episode the other day, and someone actually had said that they unsubscribed because apparently RJ here like said some crap about Zack Snyder. I guess.
Which I never did. Apparently, I don't know what they're referring to.
I don't know.
What was that comment made? By the way, I would love to know.
It's on the stream. It's on that video.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's on that video. So it's like if you check out that's on there. So it's like that's the whole point. Is it's just like
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So yeah. Anyway, okay, we got him. He's apparently working now. Eddie. We see him there, looking like a kind of. I'm not gonna lie, kind of like an Elseworlds Lex Luthor.
We had him, but we lost him.
It looked a little sus. Hold on, he's back now. We'll see if he's back. Eddie, are you there? Eddie, go get another phone or like a laptop or literally go. I don't know. Google Chrome it. Something. I don't know. Tony here says, "Oh my God, connections killed Eddie. Those bastards." Yeah. Every time Eddie tries to, I swear to God, ever since he started talking about like how much he masturbates to Gina Carano, it's just been super hard for him to get in here. So I'm just saying. William here, $2 saying it got disconnected. Well, come back in.
Yeah, it's come back in. You know,
there you go. You have the link. All right. Anyway, apparently, people are recommending Sweet Tooth quite a bit. I
haven't watched it, to be honest with you. It's the same thing with we talked about this before. It's like the Netflix binge model. It's like people talk about Sweet Tooth for like a week. It's like, it's just kind of fading away.
How many episodes is it though? That's the thing.
I think like 6, 8.
Okay. I mean, I've been seeing the Zach Stentz, who's a film. It's 8 episodes. Okay. It's 8 episodes, and the running time is like, what are they, an hour?
Yeah, some of them are like 40 minutes and they're an hour. It kind of just it's flexing.
Let's see, 54 minutes, 50 minutes, 42 minutes. Yeah, it's kind of like, okay. I need to check it out. I mean, so that's kind of the thing. So it's funny we bring this up. So as I was out today doing deliveries, I was like thumbing through YouTube, right? And honest to God, like at this point, I got to subscribe to different channels because I don't feel like I'm seeing much of anything like that's of interest to me. And maybe my interests are varying. But like I don't watch Comic Book Cast anymore because I just find like 3-minute videos from Armin to be generally kind of even like misinformed. And like even today he put out a Zack Snyder video today for something that came out like 2 weeks ago. Like
I had no idea.
Like where the fuck you been, dog? Like isn't this your job? I mean, like I'm trying not to talk about Zack Snyder that much, and I still like I know what the hell's going on. But I was thinking about like the Netflix model sucks, but what I could do is try to use my connections with the media center and being a media outlet to like try to get early review stuff, watch it early, and then do the coverage of it. And then, because that's kind of the whole point, is like when it comes to see the pump and dump model to, I think, the average person, it like doesn't really matter. And maybe I'm explaining it the wrong way, but like when your job is to kind of like talk about the media, you know, to talk about movies and entertainment, like then that is effectively my job. And I love what I do. It is very difficult at times to like keep up with everything, you know, because a lot of it drops at the same time. And you, and like, you know, like with a lot of things out there, if you don't get it at the right time, it doesn't get caught in the algorithm and you actually lose out on a lot of it. Right. So it's very weird like that. Which is why I was like, okay, how to like, you know, but when, you know, doing the more longer discussions, like how we were talking about Loki, I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun because it's fun to kind of describe, you know, it's fun, like, and even like doing this, it's like, you know, what I should do, you know, what I should do is have people call in and just go like, what movie do you want to fucking talk about? You know, like pimp me a movie, something. Cause when it's like, you know, I like TW's like, here's this list of things that I want to talk about, right? Like this itemized list, you know, of topics, which is great. And then it's, you know, as Ryan, thankfully, you know, he waited, but he's just like, oh, I'm just watching Batman, you know, and you're like, I don't know how to go off of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's not a dig at Ryan. That's not a dig at Ryan. It's just, I'm a very like tunnel visioned kind of guy. Right. And so it's like, if it's like, oh, what's going on with, you know, current events. And it's like, yo, I'm watching this like 1991 animated series, dog. Like, what up? Like my brain just kind of goes blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Because I can't think of like how to segue that into something or whatever. But anyway, just doing more of like the longer form discussions about these things, I think is more what I'd like to do. Not even really reviews, because I think reviews are just kind of like, I hate watching reviews on YouTube. Right? Well, I don't watch them.
Well, it depends like what kind of reviews, because some like the quick 7-minute ones aren't that bad.
I mean, like the 7-minute ones aren't that bad. It depends on like generally like, maybe a reaction to something. Like I might watch like a John Campea reaction to something when he does like a 2-minute, like I'm just out of the theater sort of thing. And I just, so there's something like that. I don't watch Jeremy Johns.
Really?
I'm subbed. I cannot stand his editing style. I am not a teenager with ADHD. I'm an adult
doesn't Jeremy have ADHD?
It's possible he does.
I could have sworn he said he did.
It's possible that like I have adult ADHD and I just can't focus on that shit. You know what I mean? Because like what I don't like is when they edit their content that's so fast, you cannot process what they say. And when you listen to Jeremy Johns, he will cut it so fast to where like, and I guarantee you his watch time is high because people don't know what the fuck he said. Because he'll just make a point and then he'll cut it and it will immediately jump into the next point. And it becomes this like, my brain needs to kind of focus on what you said. So I like the more longer form discussions. I watch some Angry Joe discussions when they do like the spoiler talks of certain things. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm kind of overwatching like a dude who I think is about the same age as me, with a worse haircut than me, even though it's a quarantine haircut. Like, sitting there and like just yelling in his microphone about.
I'll be honest, I like Angry Joe when it comes to his video game stuff. The movie stuff, some of it I watch, some of it I don't watch because it's like I just can't stand the review format. That's just me personally.
Yeah, it's the format I don't like. I think the format is kind of like, and I could probably edit. Like I thought about editing the one that you and I did. I thought about editing that one, and then I'm like, no. And like, it's like I could edit. I could get screen grabs and drop in screen grabs and like maybe like do a little thing here and there. And then I'm like, no, I'm just not going to do it. And you know what? The watch time on it's about probably 12, 13 minutes and people seem to enjoy it. Those who enjoy it. So it's like, I don't think you need necessarily to like go into a bunch of it, but there comes a time when it's like too many people discussing something that it can end up taking away. So when you've got Angry Joe and it's like 4 people on a panel and it's like a 48-minute long discussion, it's like, I ain't nobody got time for that in my mind. And maybe I'm wrong. All right. Let's see here. Ryan Hartwell says, I'm more of a Chris Stuckman kind of guy. Yeah, I like Chris Stuckman. I do. I do like Chris Stuckman quite a bit. Okay. No, the link was in the video description as well. I just retracted it. Anyway, I see we got William here. All right, William, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Cool. So yeah, real quick. Hey, a couple days ago, you were on a topic talking about when Warner Brothers and Discovery merged and how the budgets would exclude Zaslav from taking that kind of a hit on possibly doing Justice League. And one of the things I tried to get with you before you went off air is that a lot of times that the studio is not going to front any of that money for the most part. I mean, not the majority of it. Not saying that he'll do it, but I'm just saying that may not be one of the reasons that that they take a hit. Like Legendary foots 75% of the bill when they finance it. So I'm pretty sure that guy has other financiers that could front it and then in return, for legacy contracts and things like that down the line. But that was just something I wanted to throw in before you went off the air last time, but I didn't make it in.
No. I get it, man. I get it. I think, and I agree with you to an extent. I think what it is though is like talking about like Justice League 2, Justice League 3, right? The budgets of those movies are going to be exceptionally high, and they may not be confident at this point in time with putting that kind of money in. But the thing is, though, is that like the actors are getting of a certain age, and so like that's going to be a factor in a few areas, as well as like, I mean, if you think about for like even Momoa, Apple TV just renewed C for season 3, right? And Momoa's starting to shoot Aquaman 2. And he's got a bunch of other properties that he's working on. So it's like getting him in and getting all the pieces and parts together to even do a Justice League. It's not going to be for a couple of years. I would hope that Zaslav would look at the success of the Snyder Cut, because I guarantee you he has access to it, and go, okay, cool, yeah, we can do something with this. But at the same time, he's coming at it. He's also Stanky's friend, right? He's Stanky's guy. So, you know, because if you did you read about how they made the decision to do the whole Warner Brothers Discovery thing?
Yeah, they were doing it on text, weren't they?
Yeah, it was like they were texting about like their businesses, and then it turned into a 2-hour conversation. And at the end of 2 hours, it's like, hey guys, you know, it's like let's build bunk beds so we have more space for activities.
Now, here's my question, and like I said, I've discussed this elsewhere. The continuation of the Snyderverse for me doesn't necessarily, for me, mean Justice League 2, 3, 4, 5, or Man of Steel 2. To me, it means a continuation of the tone. So me personally, I don't have the hugest problem with recasting people or moving on in a different direction as long as the tone is still there. I mean, because like I said, I prefer that tone more than I do the CW, more than I do the animated universe, and more than I do some of the other companies that put out movies.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I mean, Justice League 2 and 3, I'll take whatever you give me in whatever form you give it to me. But I want what I like about the Snyderverse is the tone and the direction of the characters. And I think a lot of different characters and a lot of different actors can fit that tone. Do you think it would get to the point where Snyder fans have such a tight grip on familiar faces that they wouldn't take moving on, even if it meant keeping that tone?
Well, I think if you're talking about the tone, the Batman carries that tone, right? I mean, Matt Reeves, because granted, it was originally he was going to direct Ben Affleck's script. And then he decided to rewrite the script. And then that's what they kind of turned this movie into. So the Batman next year is carrying the Snyder tone. Very much so.
It's carrying a familiar tone, but I'm talking about the significant or the specific blueprint.
Sure.
You know, like I said, like seeing, okay, say for instance, Stone Quarry is hired to produce a certain set of movies the way that the Snyderverse was previously done. But we don't have access to Gal Gadot. We don't have access to Ben Affleck. And like you said, you know, these guys are nearing 40 and they have other projects. Recasting to me was never out of the question. And as long as the direction stays the same, I'm okay with recasting Wonder Woman. I'm okay with recasting. To me, Ben Affleck's a great Batman, but this story that was being presented wasn't more important to me than any particular actor, even up to a point. Cavill, listen, Cavill's my Superman, but if you gave me a choice of, hey, we're going to continue on, and Cavill's got like 10 programs, the next thing you know, he'll be Doctor Who next. I mean, he seems to be in everything, and Highlander, everything. So if as a fan, I'm given the choice to say, hey, you know what, we're going to continue in the same vein as Man of Steel. But it's not going to be Cavill because we can't wait around, even though contracts and everything else. Do you think that the fandom would be behind that, or do you think there are just chained to these faces and actors?
I mean, like the thing is, like there's going to be maybe like a double-edged sword. I think there's going to be two groups. I think one of them is going to be on the willing to go with whatever way Zach goes, because what they're waiting for, what everyone's kind of waiting for, is for Zach to say something, Zach to confirm that this thing is happening, or to give his blessing on it, really. And that is a lot of it. But and then there are going to be people out there that, let's say that does happen, and they decide, Warner decides to move forward with new actors in the roles or whatever. You're going to get your people out there that are going to, you know, continuously freak out on Twitter over it, because they figured, you know, like, and they figured, hey, look, we've already got what we wanted once. Why can't we get it again? Except it's a completely different ball game now.
Yeah, I think that's, to be honest with you, and I've always said this on any other thing, is brace for, like I said, that double-edged sword. Brace for the fact that we may get the tone and the story, and maybe even the producer and Zack Snyder, not directing him directly all the time, but some of these people may not be available. And I would hope that people don't go, well, if I can't have Gal Gadot or Henry Cavill, I don't want it. If Zack Snyder's at the helm, I'm okay with it. All right, somebody he chooses is at the helm, I'm okay with it. And I think as we move on, because I think we're 2 years away from anything happening with the Snyderverse, but that doesn't mean that, you know, the hype can't be built. I mean, all it takes is a tweet and a cryptic hashtag, and you'll have people buzzing for it for the next 18 months. You don't really need to even be in production. But I still think we're 2 years away from it, even under the best circumstances. And like I said, we're talking about a 50-year-old Ben. We're talking about a 44-year-old, Jason Momoa. Gal Gadot will be 38, 39. I mean, so yeah, you're all right. But but at the same time, I still want to move on with this universe.
Yeah. No, I mean, I do too. I do too. I like the universe. I want the Ayer cut. I want to see more from the Joker. I want it to continue. I just don't know what the hell Warner Brothers is doing. And
as of now, I can't understand. Loki. Oh my God. Listen, I don't always agree with the content that Marvel puts out. In fact, like I said, just under half of it I could throw away and I would be okay with. But I always say this: the organizational structure in their storytelling could sell feces on a plate with salt. Because of the way it's been presented, because of the way it's organized, Marvel can sell you garbage, and their fans will be okay with it. And they've done a great job. And Loki was actually quality. I loved every minute of that, and I didn't think I would. I waited till this morning to watch it because it just wasn't on my radar. It wasn't something that was it wasn't Captain America: Winter Soldier for me. And so I didn't wait up till midnight, So I watched it, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I love the detail, the attention to detail, the fact that there was a plan all together, and even if it wasn't by the second, by the minute planned out, they planned enough of it to where they could insert and retract and do what they needed to do. But the basic skeleton was always there, and that's just the main difference between them. And the only thing that's stopping DC films from becoming a juggernaut is management. It's just one word. That's it. Management.
Yeah, I mean, no, and you're right, and having a person who actually can run the plan, and Feige has proven time and time and time again. I mean, yeah, you can look at the different shows, and RJ and I were talking about this too, the different shows involving, whatever with like WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier, but yeah, Loki's quality. Like Loki is well written, it's well thought out, it's clearly going to have ramifications for the future. The fact that the same writer is also reworked Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness coming off of Loki is like whatever crumbs he puts forward here, I mean, he got to oversee them going into Doctor Strange too. So I mean, like that kind of for one, trust in your creatives and allowing the plan to move forward it shows a lot. And yeah, that's the thing. The management at Warner Brothers is terrible. This is not a new conversation. It's a very old conversation. And it's one where I look at it, I go, look, they blocked Zach for years. Zach is now doing the Twilight of the Gods, animated show with Jay Oliva over there. He's got the Army of the Dead Lost Vengeance also with Jay Oliva. They're doing the prequel series. And I'm pretty sure they're going to announce Army of the Dead 2 at some point in time before the end of the year. So, I mean, like, yeah, there's no need for him to go back to Warner's. If Stone Quarry wants to produce more DC content, then let him. But I'm just going to be honest here, man. All of the pain and the suffering that's come out of that, all of that pain and suffering, why would he ever go back to it?
Change management. I understand what you're saying. And like I said, if looking backwards, you're 100% right. But looking forward, I just got to look at Zazov's blueprint. Listen, Pimple Popper makes me nauseous right now. I could throw up all over my cell phone right now. But you know what? There's an audience for it. They give a whole bunch of diverse audience what they want. There's so many absurd shows on their network that I wouldn't give 2 seconds, but I know there's a fan base out there. So they give that fan base something, but not at the exclusion of another one, because they give you my serial killer shows and I'm satisfied. So if I'm just looking at that blueprint alone, if he applies that blueprint to all of Warner Brothers, no matter what, I'm okay with that, because I think there's nothing good that can come out of that approach. If he takes the same approach as he's taken to all the diverse shows that Discovery has right now and applies that, I truly believe no matter what we're looking for, you're going to get what you want, probably more, because he's very good at that. That's why they got 15 million subscribers for Discovery Plus. I would have lost my ass betting on that one. Wow.
Yeah, well, no, they did. Well, the thing is, they've also got a lot of content to back it up. So they had a good infrastructure, and Discovery's been around for years. TLC's been around for decades. IDTV's been around for a long time. So they had the content, the quality of I don't know if I argue all of its quality, but the content to back it up. So that's another thing too. And it provided it in a way that was cheap enough. And so, yeah, I'd be curious to see where it goes with this one. I think if they're going to IP mine anything, look, my gut feeling at this point is I think James Gunn is going to kind of come on in and do some stuff. Or JJ Abrams is going to do his thing, because they spent all that money on J.J. Abrams. It makes no sense as to why they wouldn't look to him to kind of navigate this next chapter, because that's what they brought him in for. So
do you think it'll just be a singular chapter though? I mean, now
I don't know. I don't trust him to do anything right at this point. You know,
I don't trust Warner Brothers. I don't trust the ghosts of Warner Brothers past to wake up in the morning and find their ways to the bathroom.
But I mean, I still think Warner Brothers is going to pump and dump their content until the merger happens. I think a lot of those things are going to rush into production.
I think they are. Yeah, I think a lot. They have until next year, so a lot of stuff clearly is going to get pushed. But I don't know, man. Like I just at this point I'm just losing interest in like everything coming out of DC. The only thing on the horizon
that's bad.
And that's bad. And it's like, I mean, like, look, I'll get my copy of Zack Snyder's Justice League here 4K very soon. I'm very much looking forward to watching it again on 4K, on my TV and stuff. And then I want Harley Quinn season 3. I'll check out Titans, you know what? But like Stargirl doesn't interest me at all. The Berlanti verse at this point, I've just completely lost interest in, as have so many other people. They might as well just like end the Flash and end it all. And then it's like, but they've got no leadership. It's a rudderless, it's a captainless ship, and it's just but then I can go turn on Marvel every couple months, get a new TV show and a new movie, and they're all connected, and the quality is good, and it's like there's a plan, and I get what I want.
Yeah, and then Zaslav we trust. I'm not going to wait for Zaslav to give me the Snyderverse because he's got much bigger things on his plate. But I just by the fact that if he takes the blueprint that he's been successful with and applies that to Warner Brothers, I think that it's just a better place. You got a better chance, not just with the Snyderverse. You got a better chance of seeing better versions of what we have, because the numbers, and you got to realize he's an analytic guy. That's the one big saving grace, the difference between the old school people that are in charge now, the Sarnoffs, the Emiraks. They are studio heads. This guy is more so of a streaming content and customer satisfaction guy. I think that mindset alone, as it approaches the kind of content that anybody wants to see, I think the fact that just a different psychology when you're talking about streaming, maintaining customers, retention. These are things that Sarnoff and Emmerich are not thinking about, but yet they run big percentages of the company that are streaming. They're just not a fit. So once they go and we get to see people coming in, and be honest with you, I don't think we're going to have to wait as long, because we have people in that are stockholders. 70% of the company, a lot of those are going to be stockholders who are given stock as part of the deal, but that's not AT&T. I don't know if a lot of those stockholders, new and old, are going to be okay with pushing and dumping a bunch of stuff that they're going to be stuck with the results of. So even though the official takeover won't happen for some time, you might have some leverage in the background, because this merger is going through. I don't think anything is going to stop this merger. They knew that ahead of time. So I think you're going to see a lot of pressure happening from the new landlords, hopefully to stem a lot of this, the dump and drive stuff that you might see, because when you're a lame duck, you can do a lot of damage to a company.
Well, yeah. I mean, and the thing is, it's gone through, a multitude of transitions in the last 4 years. So, it's like they've gone through what, two mergers in the last couple of years by the time this is done. And maybe this will be it. You know what? This will be third time's a charm sort of thing. I wish him the best of luck. You know what? I'm down for Batman, and I want to see the Gotham PD show, whatever they're working on. I want to see Suicide Squad, and I want to see Peacemaker, and like that's got my interest. But I just otherwise I'm like, all right, like just hopefully it's good. I'm gonna go in with the best of expectations. But if I'm not impressed, I'm all right. Like I'm not gonna sit there and like I'm not gonna sit there and run a hashtag campaign, because like fuck it, we've already run that one into the ground.
The hashtag campaigns, because like you said, you're speaking to ghosts at this point who are shuffling their way to jump off the Titanic. For me, I'm not even interested in any hashtag campaigns until Zaslav and company take over, and then we can start with him, because right now you're talking to people who I don't think care. They're looking for other jobs. They're looking for other positions. They're looking to liquidate and get out. The only person that seems to be even giving a rat's ass going on his way out, if and when he goes, is Jason Kilar.
Yeah, I think Keelar is going to stick around. I do. I think they're going to want to keep him around to navigate HBO Max because he clearly was onto something. And if they ditch him, I think he might be the one guy who actually understands. I mean, look, Zaslav might understand the infrastructure and what people want in regards to like the cheaply made, inexpensive content. But I think when it comes to like fostering a culture that is not just, people who like Dr. Pimple Popper, then, Keel Armor could be your guy. But we'll have to talk about this later. I still got one more person to get to, William, and then I got to start winding it down.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, brother. We'll talk again soon, all right?
All right.
Thanks a lot, but thank you. All right, William, everybody, good guy. I do want to get this one here from Benson here. Says, DC want Marvel box office numbers. Snyder films don't generate that level of money for them. Snyder fans can't accept it's done. I wish they would. I think on, I think HBO Max is the way to go for that. But you're right. They don't pull in that. It'd be great if they did, with enough push. I think in proper marketing and less interference, they would do better. But thank you. All right, and then let's see, Eddie. I saw that you were there, and then. It was good for a couple minutes. Try one more time, man. Try one more time to
Poor Eddie, man. Like the StreamYards, what is this, internet?
It's on his phone. Yeah, he says he's trying to use like okay, I don't see you, man. So like try it again. We'll give him one more shot. Maybe we can get Eddie in here. I don't know what the hell his problem is. I have a problem with StreamYard as well sometimes, but it's not that big of a deal. Let's see. Adam Burke here says idiots on Facebook think that Black Panther should be played by a white actor. Oh my God. All right. No, there we go. As soon as we brought him in, it yeeted his ass. As soon as we brought him in, it yeeted him.
It sucks.
He's trying. Okay. Yeah, Eddie, I don't know, man. Like, do you have your old phone? You could just use the Wi-Fi. I don't know. I think there's got to be a setting or something that's like
probably
off on that. Like it's just I mean, like I haven't had that problem on a couple different phones, so I have no idea what's going on. But we'll have to figure it out with Eddie at some point in time in the future. But I think on that note, I think I'm gonna probably call it. Hold on, let's try one more time. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, for right now, don't move.
Okay.
Don't move. Don't breathe. Don't talk. What's going on?
Fuck you. Oh my God. Oh, you have no idea how much the struggle has been.
No, I've been watching. I've been watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are the last person, Eddie. You better make this fucking good. We've been waiting for you.
Well, first I want to say I'm just as special as Anthony is. Why don't you give me an epic intro?
Because you're never around for it because your phone keeps crapping out.
Well, I'm here now, aren't I?
Okay. So, let's.
Anyway, to the point.
to the point, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for you to get booted, so we don't know yet. But
I'm gonna remember that.
What? No,
it's the next time we.
Yeah, that's if you can get in. Like, what I might need to do is like just go to the phone lines and like put up the call-in number and like patch it in that way.
We haven't done that in years, so
it's been a while. Been a while. I like StreamYard just because it like it's a little bit more manageable. But yeah, I get you, man. So okay,
yeah.
What is it you wanted to talk about? You've been waiting 2 hours. What is it you wanted to talk about?
Well, aside from your diss on the new Space Jam, I literally want to fight you right now. But that will be at another conversation. House party. I was actually watching a few videos from a couple of the 3 movies, and dude, I'm telling you, those movies hold up. Not only do they hold up, but they're just, they're movies that it just reminds you, like when you go to like actual house parties, like you just miss the times where environments like that were not so chaotic and all about like the whole, constantly drinking and getting high. Like they were just about having fun, and I miss those days. And that's why I was hitting you up on Twitter. I think you already got the message, but I was like, you definitely should do a audio commentary on all three movies.
Yeah, I mean, like I saw you say that. I need to. As I was saying to Ryan earlier, I kind of dropped the ball on audio commentary. I got to get back into it. It's
Plus it's Kid and Play. Who doesn't love Kid and Play?
I think people who don't know who Kid and Play is. So even TW is all like Kid and Play, because you said House Party. It's like Kid and Play. I mean,
like House, yeah.
No, I grew up watching House Party and House Party 2. I don't think I've seen House Party 3.
Party 3, I think it's the weakest of the three, but it's not like bad. It's still enjoyable. Like it's a welcoming addition to the trilogy, but it's definitely like the weakest of the three. I think the first one is definitely the best, and the second one is like follows up with it, like in terms of how the quality. But 3 is 3 is good because it had TLC in it. I mean,
and then to give you guys an idea of just how popular Kid and Play was back in the day, they had an animated show on Fox.
I loved that cartoon. I loved it. It was short lived, and I really feel like they whether if it was canceled or not, I don't know, but they really should have kept it on.
It ran for one season from September 8th to December 8th, 1990. With a total of 13 episodes on TV, and that was it. But the Kid and Play show existed,
and they used "Rolling with Kid and Play" as the theme song, which was a nice choice.
So yeah, I mean, like it'd be like, to me, it'd be like if they gave like the if they ended up giving like the Jerky Boys an animated show.
It's
none of you remember the Jerky Boys.
No, I have no idea who they are, and even if I did, I probably forgot. It's been years.
They did all the prank call stuff. They were like the prank call, Crank Yankers, the show Crank Yankers on Comedy Central.
Oh yeah,
that was
like
taken
the adult version of the Muppets.
Yeah, but that was ultimately something that you would find with the Jerky Boys. Like the Jerky Boys were like that. They were the ones that were like, they released album after album of them like prank calling people and just really antagonizing people. And then they even did a Jerky Boys movie back in like the mid 90s, like 94, 95. Jerky Boys, the movie, 1995. Yeah.
For real? Wow. I did not know that.
Oh yeah. No, the plot of the movie is 2 30-something losers make prank phone calls and anger a mob boss.
Wow.
That was what and Alan Arkin was the mob boss.
You mentioned Alan Arkin. Now I think I'm curious now to check it out.
All right. Well, here I'll bring up the trailer. You know what it is? I've realized I don't make any real cash on the VODs, so we'll bring up the trailer real quick and then we'll wind it down after this. Because I think maybe tomorrow night I'll do a Trailer Park After Dark.
All right. So I was going to ask you something real quick.
Ask me real quick.
Yeah. I know you said you stopped doing trailer reactions and stuff, but since I feel like the new Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer is going to be coming out, do you think you'll make an exception for that?
I might talk about. I want to do like trailer discussions, where I just talk about it, because I think the thing with the reaction is I personally don't like them because I feel I put nothing into it. Like there's just no critical thought into it whatsoever. It's like, wow, whoa.
I like them.
It depends on if it's a cool trailer. If it's a cool trailer and there is something that's a wow factor there, then that's something to get excited over. Like if it's like a Star Wars or like a Marvel movie that's got the cool little thing at the end of it, or like the whoa shit, like that's cool.
The first Ghostbusters trailer was good. I would imagine this one being just as good.
Sure. No, I probably, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it personally. I feel like I'm a dancing monkey when I do them. I just don't feel there's anything really there. But like Star Wars ones, I'll do. Like maybe Marvel ones, I'll do things I have a connection to, right? Like if it's things I have a connection to, I will. But if it's like, a standard like, oh, M. Night Shyamalan, a ding dong, movie trailer, probably not going to do that. I like him, but I don't have a lot of connection. But if it was like, let's say if they were like, we're doing Super Mario Brothers 2, the movie, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll watch that trailer and I'll react to it. Like things like along those lines I'll do. But
a midnight showing for you is definitely going to be something you do for a movie like Ghostbusters, right?
Oh yeah, well I'll go to the 7 p.m. Screening like the night before the
night before. Stuff. Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, I do that all the time. So I just prefer to go Thursday nights, and let's go check it out. So here's the thing. This is a trailer. That's called The Jerky Boys the movie. This is complete 95. So get ready for that.
All right.
Caravan Pictures presents the movie the phone company doesn't want you to see.
Hey, Jerky!
Hello.
What?
Good. I play it to everybody that I can. And everybody I play it to, they love it. Everybody laughs like hell.
There's so many things in this world to be down about. We're just trying to make people laugh.
I want Frank Rizzo!
We touch the public in a great way.
That's the dog! Come here, lady.
You don't know how to talk to these people.
Rizzo? Yeah, that's right, Sizzle. Just
I really did it good this time.
Who's in charge over there?
Howdy, this is Bubba.
You let me down there, I'll straighten things out like you wouldn't believe there, Porky.
Al, come on. We're playing on the phone.
See you a little later there, Milky Liquor. Hey, Jerky!
Yeah.
That is one of the most insane, weird trailers I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, but Rose the Phantoms here is right. Collective Soul. Yeah. In the soundtrack.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see shit because all I saw was just buffering the whole.
Oh really? Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So for the people in the chat, if I wasn't like as reactive as they were, forgive me. But that's the reason why.
Oh no, that's okay.
I was just taken in by how pure 90s it was.
Oh, it's so
narrator.
Yeah.
I've never seen a movie trailer where like they have behind the scenes stuff promoting the movie. It's like, oh yeah, let's talk about the movie during the trailer.
Yeah, I mean that was just something they put on like the VHS, like coming this fall, the Jerky Boys. You're like, who the fuck are the Jerky Boys?
I mean, I'll check it out like after we're
done. It's pretty funny. Let me just double check that I got a content ID claim. Let me just dive in and take a look here. I'm pretty sure I did. Let's see.
You get alerts like that quick?
I'll get them occasionally. I get them occasionally. Yeah. So it's pretty funny sometimes. But no, I got one the other day for showing I played the He-Man trailer without any sound and I got it. And then like I appealed it and it was cleared in like, I don't know, 30 minutes. It's the fastest turnaround I've ever seen for like a releasing of a claim. I think because Netflix kind of gets it. I'm sold
on that show though.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be good, man. I'm looking forward to it. That's why
it reminds me a bit of like Castlevania anime.
I guess I haven't seen Castlevania, but that's why I specifically put this fish up here in the corner.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I specifically put this fish up there for a very specific. What's funny is I used a filter on it that like it's actually like it's got a watermark on there, but you can't see it because like I used the filter from Canva and stuff. And then of course
I just realized something.
This was for you, Eddie. Did you see this?
Yeah,
can you see it?
See my comment in the chat? Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, you want to buy that shirt, don't you, buddy? You want to buy that shirt?
Yeah, well, they didn't put titties on her, so
that's Han Solo's body. You don't put like
I know
you don't put titties on Han Solo.
That's what Photoshop is for.
I'm not that good in Photoshop. I made that in Canva, so it's pretty terrible.
Nevertheless, maybe I'll buy it. If it's a real shirt, I'll buy it.
No, I'm not going to. No,
I'll buy it for you. I'll buy it for you. I'll buy it and I'll wear it next time for you when I come.
There's a lot of people out there who sell copyrighted material on Teespring. I'm not really like. I might make that shirt for me, and then like just wear it around like conventions and stuff.
I'll bet you're gonna tag me in a tweet and say, "Hey Eddie, look what I got."
Yeah, well, I mean, like I've got the I did finally officially purchase the Podio commentary logo, like this logo, because I had it made, but like it was I finally paid for it, so I have all the assets, and I'm gonna get this on a hat. That's gonna be coming out. That's for me. I'm ahead of